各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear friends.
今天又到了我们一个好节目的时间来了哈。
Today, again, it's our live stream.
不好意思啊，师傅，今天您一讲是好节目的时候，我们都特别好奇。
I'm sorry, Grandmaster, you mentioned today we will have a wonderful live stream. We're very curious.
哎呀，一直白的说吧，有点
Well,
没意思。
so
这个
what
都
is
问到
that
这儿了，我也不
actually?
能不说哈。
Well,
因为我
if
听这
you,
个
if I tell you
马来西亚的
directly,
网友
it's just,
朋友啊，
you know,
说一种病症的时候，
but because
就是
you
帕
asked
金
me,
森
so
帕金森
I'll
我
let
问
you
什
know.
么是帕金森？
So
是一
a
种
Malaysian
病
friend said,
用英文说它这帕金森
Parkinson's. Parkinson's
哎
is a
所以我就说是帕
disease.
金森嘛，啊，
So
帕金森，帕
是
金森。
这样。
In Chinese,
Parkinson.
it's like you.
一直在
It's a
抖
very
啊
interesting
一直在抖
pronunciation.
吃饭
So
都光用筷子
Parkinson's
哈
disease,
夹
they're
东西夹不
always
住抖啊
trembling,
抖
like shaking
也
their
是难
hands.
死医生啊。
And it's
哦，所以
one of the
大家
most
认识一
difficult
下这个
disease
疾
for
病啊。
doctors to cure.
对，非常
So
的
we
必要。
can
今天我们
get
来
to
认识
understand
等一下啊，师
Parkinson's.
傅，我们在认识
Joy said,
Parkinson
"Oh, wait a
之前
minute.
啊
Before we understand Parkinson's, because yesterday we talked about osteoporosis and a lot of bone disease, and we've watched some videos and testimonials. Sister Susan from Los Angeles, and she really benefited so much from Energy Bagua practice, and she's a very lovely sister. And Grandmaster, you praised the leader of his Energy Bagua group, and we don't know who is that person. And so they're very, very grateful. So they have a very short video and would like to share with you. He's the director of that Energy Bagua group. Hello, Grandmaster. On behalf of our Energy Bagua group, we're so grateful for Grandmaster for your blessings and protection. Every day, we're still practicing Energy Bagua. Everybody benefited so much from Energy Bagua practice. We're so grateful for your protection and blessings. We are also so grateful for your care and for us. Oh, great. So now we can talk about
像咱们
Parkinson's.
就是说起像洛杉矶啊，他们这个马恒他们这个八卦点哈，
So what's his name?
沙特朗，
沙特朗 Energy
阿拉伯
Bagua Group. It's in Los
对，它这个
Angeles,
八
the
卦
Energy
点
Bagua
其实
Group.
你看，我们只是说采访了这个苏珊的见证。
We
据这
only
个马恒呢，
actually
刚才
interviewed
这个影片
Susan
的介绍，
and
我刚才看
Ma
的时候，他
Heng.
说
When I
很多人的
look
效
at
果都
him,
非常好。
he actually said
对，
a
他不光
lot
是
of
一个人。
them, their group members, the Energy
对，
Bagua group members,
就是
they
这样。
actually benefited tremendously.
对，
And
你
if
这走
you
八卦超过
practice
半年
Energy
之后哈，
Bagua,
真的你会感觉
definitely,
自己
yeah,
换
as
了。
long as you practice over 6
所以
months,
在那个
you
八卦点走八卦
almost
的人
feel
心里
like
最清
you're
楚。
completely
啊，
a
这种
different
事
person.
太多太
This
多
is just so common in our
这还是不错的
practitioners.
哈。好，
So
马恒，你们这个八
马
卦点
恒
不错哈。
Great.
我
Your
们在
Energy
这
Bagua
儿
group is
看的不
very
错，
good.
是优质八卦点。
So
啊
this is a
优质
good
八卦
quality group.
做个招牌。哎，
Okay,
对，
so you
做大
can
一点。
be, yeah, you can put a big, you know, a banner there.
没错
Yeah.
对，能多度人，多帮人，这是最
Help
重
more
要的。
people.
对，
This is the
你
most
大家好好走
important.
八卦，我觉得
If you
防病
can
防疫
practice
都特别有
Energy
效。
Bagua
对，那
diligently,
我们
it
既然
also
说到
helps
这个
us to
帕金森啊，
prevent,
这
you
个
know,
其实帕金森是世
the
界上很
epidemic
疑难
disease.
的
So
这个病症啊，也
Parkinson's
不太好治，
disease
没有什么特别有效的
is
药物
very
啊。
difficult to
对，
cure. There's no
现在
specific
怎么着？
medicine
大家是
for
其实就
Parkinson's
是
or
我
no
们听
miracle
到帕金森
pills
这
for
个病的
that.
名称的时候，是会觉
So
得它
when
是很
we
严重的
hear
一种
about
病症，
Parkinson's,
而
we
且确实
feel
没有
this is a
良
very
药
serious
可以
disease
医
and
治
there's
的。
no
那我
you
们
know
呢有一
miracle
位
pills for that.
师兄，一位台湾的师兄，
There
印
is
象蛮深刻的。
a
对对对
brother from
他有一段
Taiwan.
很好
He
的
actually
分享
has a very
对
good
分享
story to
对
share
网
with
友
us.
跟师傅先介绍一下。
好的，
So let's watch
检
that.
查报告通通列出来，讨论
So
的结
all
果确
these
定
report comes out, and then the doctor diagnosed that I have already had Parkinson's disease. And I just locked myself in the study room, and I just locked myself in. I don't want to even walk out. And so my friends all want to come and find me, and they try to find me, and they find me for 3 years. But my situation keep going down. Before, it was a very colorful, life, and then it becomes just black and white. From no hope to full of hope, from from black and white and then to colorful. And so when I noticed that there is this health issue, I went to see family doctors and TCMs. And 3 years ago, I think it's not good because it's getting worse. And so I asked a friend, he's a medical doctor, PhD, and I asked him to check. And then finally, through all the discussion, they confirmed that I had Parkinson's disease. My hands was trembling tremendously. I couldn't even hold a chopstick, or I couldn't even hold a pen. And that lasted for 3 years. I encouraged myself to go out, and if I lock in, there will be no future. So I was thinking about myself, and I even think about the worst scenario, but I really cannot let go of my family. Oh yeah, of course. In these 3 years, I always locked myself in. I keep taking the meditations, but it's just getting better and worse. And then so I was very, worried and suffered a lot. Because of a friend, he get to know Bodhi meditation. That was April the 15th, and that day he said I was about to go out. Oh, it's actually raining. The beautiful rain. It's just the blessing of heaven. But that helped me to start the first step, and I walked one step after another, and then I don't know it was my tear or it's the rainwater. I walked for 40 minutes until I walked to the Bodhi Meditation Center. What a pity. If he walked one step, it would take like 5 minutes. He couldn't move anymore, and then he would he walked about like over 10 minutes, and slowly he gets better, but he was so slow. Like just walk one circle would take 5 minutes. I only walked half a circle. I collapsed, and so he hold me and get me to a chair. So I had a break for a while, and then we continued to walk. And then the second day we came here again. It continued for a whole week, and that week I benefited like tremendously. It was like magic. My steps, my hands, my idea, everything, they taught me very clearly. When the report came out, my left hand was more severe. My right hand was more slight. Now I can put my hands here. You cannot see my hand is trembling, right? It's not shaking at all. Can you hold chopsticks or pen? Yes, no problem. And before, my left hand has very serious problem. Now I want to practice so that my left hand, I want to use my left hand to eat and even pick peanuts. I can even use chopsticks to pick peanuts. Yeah. And I just walk Energy Bagua. Can you walk? What about your walking? I can now even, I can run, I can jump, I can chase people. When you walk from your home to the center, the first time it took you 40 minutes now. And then the second, after a month, it takes me 20 minutes. I just benefited so much. Because of the blessings of Bodhisattva and because of the guidance of Grandmaster, I just benefited so much. I am willing, if anyone has a friend, if they have the same disease, I can help him and encourage him, and we can work together to get better. All right? Wonderful. So practice Energy Bagua increase a lot. And for his Parkinson's. And so this brother, he came to Grandmaster's classes and shared this story. He actually had Parkinson's disease for quite a few years. At the beginning, he dare not even go out of the house. And at the beginning, his hands were shaking a lot. And so when he already see very clear, symptom, it's already quite severe. He found that he couldn't hold pens or chopsticks, and then he cannot, and he had very slow movements, and he didn't want to see anyone, and he would just lock himself inside. And so, because they don't want other people to, maybe they're, when other people look at them, other people, maybe they will have pity on them, or, but that's also, they feel bad when other people are looking at them this way, and because they cannot even do some basic movements, or like walking. And so he said when he was walking, finally, with a friend, he was able to walk, and the friend encouraged him to walk to the center, and it took him like 40 minutes. And so 40 minutes, what does it feel? Normal people can walk to the center just 5 minutes, but it took him 40 minutes, 8 times as much. And so you can imagine how hard every step is. The very step, when he came to the center, when he was walking Energy Bagua, every step of walking Energy Bagua took 5 minutes, and he only walked for half a circle. He collapsed, and he had to rest for a long time. And really, he has to have lots of courage to walk out of the house. But after he walked Energy Bagua for a week, his walking and movements is completely changed. After a month, the 40 minutes that he took for the first time, after a month, he only needs to take 20 minutes, only half of the time. So it's like double the speed already. And when he's showing us his hand is not shaking, and and he could even pick up peanuts. I cannot even pick up peanuts by my hands. Not every single peanuts, I would say. So for this man, when he was sharing his story, I was there too. At the time when he was sharing, he actually shared a lot of information, like 5 times more information. He was actually a director in another a religious school, and he actually had a lot of social connections. But because he had this disease, he cannot move, and he cannot speak very properly, and he felt no confidence at all. And so when he cannot walk, and so how he felt so low, and how can he have any confidence? And that's why he locked himself inside. A lot of people, when they have serious disease, they might be similar to that. They might have similar feelings. Excuse me, I'd like to add something. I remember in Vancouver Center there was a sister, and she was very highly educated, was a professor in a university, and after she retired, and very unfortunately she also had Parkinson's disease, and so she told that she didn't want to eat meals with her family members, because whenever she picked up something and she was so shaking, and then the food will drop down, and and so her granddaughter had to pick the food for her. Other grandmothers, if the granddaughter picked food for her, she would be happy, but I was in tears. And so when they had the disease and they couldn't recover, of course they would lose their confidence and self-esteem. And at that time they suddenly realize when they can help others do things, it's such a happiness. When we can help others, we didn't realize it's a happiness. Sometimes we will compare about, oh, my car is not as expensive as my neighbor's car, but when the true suffering comes, or that serious illness comes, that's when you really had the pain. That's when the real darkness comes. So this Mr. Yo, when Parkinson's struck him, he described that he had already had Parkinson's for 3 years, and finally he had the opportunity to come to Bodhi Meditation Center to practice Energy Bagua. What about those 3 years? Like every day would feel like a whole year. And luckily, the brother Lin Zhihong, who introduced him to Bodhi meditation, he's a real Bodhisattva, Lin Zhihong. Yeah, in the other religious school, they know each other. So before, maybe he's not ready yet. He even being invited, he didn't want to come. But when he really have no way out, and he mentioned about it was raining. He didn't remember. He didn't know whether it's his tears or rain. It actually described his feeling at the time. But afterwards, when he get well, at the time in Taiwan, there was a trade show, there was an event, there were a lot of people went there. So this Mr. Yo, who is very dignified, he was holding a Bodhi meditation banner and going everywhere, telling everybody about Bodhi meditation. And so you can see, look at him. Yeah, look at his smile, look at his confidence, and look at his glowing face. And I went there too. And I went there trying to buy something, and he looked at me, and he tried to greet to me, and he was so overjoyed to greet everyone who come to that trade show. And he was talking to other people, and he said, see, I can run, I can jump, I can chase other people, I can do everything. And even if you don't have Parkinson's disease, some seniors cannot pick peanuts, right? And so this is really incredible. We're so happy for him. Once again, I'm just so amazed by Energy Bagua practice. This is such a blessing from the divine. Yeah, this is so wonderful. Such amazing gift. Okay, let's talk about Parkinson's disease. let's introduce, let's get to know about Parkinson's disease. So this is a nervous system disease. We don't know what caused it. Maybe it's because of aging or some other unknown reasons. To a certain point, their nervous system, their neurons will get lost, and so it would be very hard for them to transmit dopamine.
对，它影响一个是影响运动，还有它是一种进行性的神经性。
进行性啥意思？就是不断发展是吧？
逐渐的，就不是
So it is progressive disease. So it doesn't happen like suddenly or abruptly. It's not like cold. Whether you take medicine or not, after a week will get better. But this disease just gets worse and worse. At the beginning, there's only one side, one hand will be shaking, and then they cannot control the tremor. And when they notice that this is getting worse and very obvious, it actually is already going to the middle stage or later stage, and it can also have slowness in movement, and when they are walking, and they also have the disorder in their muscles, and they cannot hold chopsticks or pens, and hard for them to walk. And then because of these, they would have anxiety or depression and insomnia. So it causes these mental problems. And even until now, the reason for the disease is hard to know. And when it gets to the later stages, because they lose the ability to walk, they would have to be bedridden. And once they are bedridden, they would cause so many problems, like the internal organs will be infected, especially lungs. So that's why a lot of Parkinson's disease, they actually pass away because of the pneumonia. The complication of pneumonia. So in their heart, they are very, very sad, because it is very, very hard to recover. The medicine can only control the worsening of the disease, maybe just make the disease develop slower, but it doesn't cure the disease. And at the end, some people even cannot open their eyes. Yeah, the muscles on the eyelids are just so weak, and then when their voice would be so low, and they couldn't speak very clearly. Whenever they need to use muscles, they already had the muscle damage, so they won't be able to do properly, and so it's very painful, very hard. Actually, there was another disease that's similar to that was called amyotrophic lateral scoliosis.
它的这个叫什么？这种病症的发展，它也是一种肌肉的这种慢慢的。
是不是就是那个大科学家霍金的那个病啊
？Is that Hawking's disease, like ALS? Yeah, when we see him in the public, we can see that he cannot move, and eventually he wasn't even able to talk, and then he could only, express through computers. And so the modern medical science, so they think that it's because of the dopaminergic neuron loss. Dopaminergic neuron. Yeah, so dopamine is very, very important. So this dopaminergic neuron is in charge of generating dopamine and also transmitting the dopamine to the nervous system. And so dopaminergic neuron actually involves into a lot of movements and thinking, and so if this neuron is sick, it has the disease and lose its function, then all the symptoms of Parkinson's will appear. But how do we cure the Parkinson's syndrome or the Parkinson's disease? There's no specific way to be able to completely cure Parkinson's disease. And if you ever need to take medicine, you probably will have to take medicine for the whole lifetime. I actually talked to that sister, sister in Vancouver. She was a highly educated woman because she would always search online for the new scientific research, research of the Parkinson's disease. So she didn't see any breakthroughs, and so she thought, I never know. Okay, well, today is like this. I never know if today there will be another new organ will have failure. So she had that's her fear. And eventually it will affect the brain. So it would also affect their thinking ability, like affect their they would have mental disorder. And so that actually they never know their future. So Grandmaster says actually everybody may have the possibility to have that disease. According to the statistics, mostly they're middle-aged or seniors, like from 50 years old to 70 years old is a high incident, has very high incidence rate. And at this time, people are aging, and because of emotions, because of pressure, because of stress, they all can cause the disease. I remember the boxing champion Ali, he actually had that Parkinson's disease. Muhammad Ali, he actually had Parkinson's disease. For him, maybe because in boxing, he was doing boxing, his head had been attacked many times. That external injury could be the cause of the Parkinson's disease. And some others may be caused by the environment. We actually search for some research, and if you always have contact with pesticides or herbicide or those some chemicals like these, it's very likely, more likely for them to have Parkinson's disease. Maybe their neurons will be affected, and also some people are because of genetic reasons. 10 to 15% of them. But it's not very clear who can catch that disease. It's just the neuron starts to have failure and then be damaged. And maybe someone just did a big labor, or they had a very they had a big anger or something, and then they could suddenly have this disease. And some people, if they use their brain too much, it doesn't mean that it will definitely cause Parkinson's disease. But among all the Parkinson's patients, there's a high percentage of people who use brains very much. It's just like if you use too much, then too much labor, it will hurt your physical body. And if you use your brain too much, people who use labors, then they think that if people only need to use their brain to work, it's good. But actually, people use their brains. They actually think just labor is so much easier. So mental work is not easy at all.
对，经常会是这样子。
Actually, a lot of
神
people
经衰弱就反映
they
在失眠呐、健忘啊、
yeah,
没有
there's
精神
another
啊
kind
这
of
些。
disease
还是神经受到
that
了
can
损
have
害、衰弱。
对，我记得就是有一种脑力的这个运动
that
吧，
can
我们叫脑
have
力运动，就是比方说
insomnia or
下围棋的
something
时
that
候
is
他们
called
下一场围棋就是几个
neurasthenia.
小时乃至几天
Yeah,
的这
and
种
there are
高强
people
度
who
的
have
大
like
脑的这种思
hours
考
or
计算
even
啊这样。
days that
那
they
下
need
完一
to
场棋以后，
do
你看他就坐了一
you know
天吧，
play
或者
chess or
但
play
是怎么
some
会下
games
完一
and
天
then
棋以后
they
精疲力尽？
Yeah.
就是这些运动
So
员，
those
就
people
是棋
who
手吧，
are in
特别疲劳，
playing
劳
chess
累。
and
所以脑
after
力
a few
脑
hours or
力
several
工作者
days of
同样
playing
是很
chess,
劳
they
累，
actually are
一样就是
completely
消耗他的
exhausted.
能量。
So
能
when
量
they are
对。
using
但也
their
我们也没法
brains,
说
they
这
are
是消耗的是脑
also
的能量还是身
consuming
体能量，
energy.
就是
We
能
don't
量，
know
整体的
whether
就是
it's
整
the
体的能
energy
量
of the brain or the body.
所以
It's
你
just
看大学生
generally
考试的时
speaking, it's
候，
just energy.
你说他
So
运
when
动了吗？
those
他没运动，对不对？
university
累
students are
呀，
taking
是
exams, they are
累坏
also
了。
very,
对，
very,
很
very
消耗。
tired.
那个博士
They're
论
not
文
doing
这个
sports,
写作
but
的时
they
候，
are very
累
tired
不累
when
呢？
they are writing
非
thesis.
常
Of
累。
course, it's
还有
very
一种就是
tiring.
说遇到一
And
些生
another
活中危机的时候，
scenario is
哦，
that
那种哎
when
呀那
they
愁
have
啊，
a
紧张啊，
crisis
发
in
紧
their
张
life
对
and they were
像以前我
so
们知道那个伍子
stressed
胥
and
对
一夜
you
白
know
头啊，
对
in
啊
ancient
真是
China,
一夜
Wu 子
第二
胥
天
just
真是一夜白头，
overnight
这种
his
例子还是
hair
有的。
from black turned
是
white.
啊，
And
有的
so
人就是
it's
就是
like
去高考，或者是
and
参
some
加一个
people
非
they
常
just
非常
go
重要的
to
考试，
a very
有的吓
important
得是一星期
exam.
睡不着觉，
And
就不
some
精神病
people
了，都有。
for a whole week they were so scared that they for a whole week they couldn't sleep, and so they suddenly had mental disorder.
神
And
经衰弱就失
yeah,
眠，到现在
and
50多了还失眠呢。
yeah.
对，
So
那个时候
Joyce was
真的是
sharing someone
对
when
这又是一种病。
when he or she goes to an exam and he was so scared that he had that
对，还有的人一紧张之
neurasthenia
后拉
and then
肚子，
couldn't
一拉
sleep,
又是
and
一辈
even
子。
now he's already 50 years old and he
高
still
考累
has
就开始
this
拉瓦，
neurasthenia
之后
and
稍
still
稍
have
一紧张
insomnia.
就拉肚子。
And some people are so stressed that they would have diarrhea, and so whenever they are stressed, they would have diarrhea. So you know, and so Parkinson's disease, now we know all the symptoms, and
一些名人啊，
we can also share some of the people who actually had Parkinson's
这是
disease,
多么
like
美
the
貌
very
优雅
famous
高贵的这
actor
样的一位
Catherine
女士，哎呦，真的
Hepburn.
是多少人心目中的女神呢？
Yeah, she's such
跟
a
女神到年老也一样手颤抖哈。
beautiful actress that everybody loved her
还
so
有我
much,
们
but
耳熟
she
能
could
详的文学巨
she
匠巴金
also
老先生，
unfortunately had that disease, and also
他很
our
高寿
very
啊
famous
一直都
writer
是
Ba
高寿到
Jing,
100
a
岁
Chinese
但是
writer.
他晚年呢
He lived very
患
long.
那个
He lived
Parkinson
till
22
100 years, but he had
Oh.
Parkinson's
对
disease for
所以他都
22
自己
years.
讲，他说
And he
他
said
拿笔都拿
when
不
he
动。
was
就是他写字很困难。
well,
写
it
字
was
很
very,
困难。
very
那时候
hard
没
for
电脑。
him to write
那时候还
because
没有电
at
脑
that
对。
time there was
对
no
他要自己
computer,
写
and he
自己
needs
写
to
他说他那个
write
笔啊在手里有
handwrite.
千斤之
And
重，
he
哎
said
多
the
困难
pen
呐
in his
抓不
hand
住呀。
feels
对。
like
写那个字更
hundreds
困
of
难。
kilograms
对，可是他
heavy,
还跟这个
and
帕金森
but he
症做
still
斗争，
fight
是每天在坚持地
struggle
写
with
作
the
对。
哎那种精
with
神也
with
是
the
很可
Parkinson's
嘉。
disease,
不容
and
易。
对，
he
还有
still
什么名
continued
人？
to write
还有我们
any
知道中国
other
的数学家陈景润，
celebrities
哦，
对，就是一
who
加一就哥德巴赫猜
sadly
想
had the
啊，我
disease.
们俗称
Oh,
的一加
the
一等于2
mathematician
的
Chen
这一位
Jingren,
大
who's
数
very
学家，
famous in
对
China.
他的晚年也是，也都是到12年
He
，12
actually
年
had
帕金森
12 years
啊
of
最后一直
Parkinson's
在病床
disease.
上
Chen
才好。
Jingren, and
他
eventually
到
he
晚年的时
passed
候就是
away
他是一生搞研究看
in
书
the
的，一直
hospital. The
脑力
whole
思考的，他
all
是
of
离不
his
开这
life
些东西
he
的。
was doing
可是到
these
最后都
math
眼睛都睁不
research,
开。
and at the
啊
end of
要
his
要
life
要他的
he
家
couldn't
人帮他
even
按摩
open
眼睛，
his
按摩按
eyes,
摩好半
and
天，
his
睁开
family
一点
member
点，
needs
睁
to
开一
do
点
a
点，他还在那儿看书，还在
massage
写。
on his eyes for a long time. He can, and then he can open his eyes slightly,
我想
and
这
if he can
还
open
是一
his
个
eyes
能量
slightly,
消
he
耗，
would still be
或
reading
者
math
是
books and
精神压力。精
so
神压力、
Grandmaster
能量
say
消
it's
耗，
probably
容易
mostly
造成
because
这
of
种疾病
stress
的
and
形成。
pressure
对，
and
师傅，那其实
it,
如果
it's
科
very
学的
likely
研
to
究说
cause
是这种病的
Parkinson's
治愈
disease. disease. So
更多的是因为这个多巴胺能神经元
yeah,
的
so the scientific
衰
research
弱
is
以至于
it's
死
because
亡的
of
话，不能产生多巴胺了哈。那我是觉得之前我们
neurons
在上课的时候，就
failure
很明显的
or
有看过
loss
有一个片子叫 Happiness，
对，
I
这里面
actually
就是
have
是科
watched
学
a
家们
video
通过科
about
学的研
happiness,
究
and scientists did
他们
some
真的是
research
把那个
about
所有的这些科学仪器 都
they
给怎么讲 attach 在对连通
Yeah,
在一位禅修
they
大师的这个
tested
头脑上。然
a
后来
very
检测
famous
他的分泌
meditation
的多巴胺的
master.
情况的这
They
种
put
各种
all
状态下
the,
以后，
you know,
他就说这位禅
the
修大师的
sensors
多
on
巴
his
胺
head
就是
and
分
tested
泌的话
him.
是最高
And
指
they
数
said,
的。
oh, so this
所以就是
meditation
科
master
学家就是
actually
得出一
had
个
the
结论说
most,
禅修
when
能
he
够
was
产生多
meditating,
巴胺。
he generated the most
这是科学的解释。
dopamine.
但
And
是我
so
们其实我
the
们学过禅
scientists
修的所有的学员
concluded that
都有这种
meditation
美好
can
的
cause
体验。
dopamine.
对
And
不知道
all
那
of
个
us,
叫不
well,
叫多巴胺
that
但
is
是
the conclusion
健
of
康
the
了
scientists.
快
And
乐
because
了
we all
对，那种
experience
感受是
meditation,
特别好
we
的。
all
对，所以
experience
我们
a happier
我们这
feeling
个传
after
统的
meditation.
这个名
And
字叫做
so
法喜。
in
法喜呢，
our
这就说就是一
traditional
种
name
幸
is
福感，
called Dharma bliss. So this
就
is
是
a
打自内心的一种
bliss.
幸福感。
So it is a
那怎么样达到幸
happiness
福
from
感
the
呢？
bottom of the
一个是
heart.
就是
So how can
正确
you
的
reach
禅
that
修，
kind of
包括
happiness?
八卦内功，
Is to
它走的
meditate
时间长
properly
了之后，
and
也行归
including
就行
practice
动中的
Energy
禅修。
Bagua. This is
也
like
是一
a
种禅修。
walking meditation. This is
之后
also
呢，
meditation.
它再包括
And
对道理上的
after
认识
you
啊，
practice
就是
it,
它会
and
有幸福感。
also when you
还有这个方法，
understand
这
the
个方法
truth,
促
then
使
you
你有
would
了幸福感。
also feel
促使了
happier.
这个
And
多巴
this
胺
practice
和
helps
就是
you
有
to
有
feel
正面
happier.
影
It
响力的这种
actually
元
promotes
素在你
the
的体内产生，
dopamine to be
所以呢，使
generated
得你
and
这
a
个
lot of
康复的这个速
positive
度呢就比较快。
elements to
对，
be
尤其于这
generated.
个
That's why
神经坏死、
we
神经
can
元有问题
recover
与
earlier,
多巴
and
胺
that
相关的这种疾
especially
病呢，
the
就是很
diseases
容易
that's
康复。
caused
其实
by
等于就是禅修
neuron
在修
damage.
复、快速修复受损神经，
So
以及补充
practicing
全
Energy
身的能
Bagua
量。
actually helps to repair the
那我
neurons
就提
and
醒大
help
家呢，
us
就是我们在这
to
个
reach
走
that
八卦和
blissful
禅修的
state.
过程之中啊，
And
就是有
when
有
we're
几种
practicing
现象呢，
Energy Bagua, there
就
are
是初级的
several
现象
phenomena
啊，都在证明着你开
has
始获得这样的
proved
能量。
that
就
you
是让你的
are
身体开始
receiving
就是
energy to
达到就是
allow
叫
our
做
body
应用
to
自如。
to be
就是
able
你
to
的
use
心
freely.
可以支
You know,
配你的
your
肢
heart
体行动，
can
就是你的活动力、
control
你的灵活
the
力、
the
你的
limbs
这
and
种
the whole
包
body,
括
and
快乐感、
you
幸福
know
感
you have the
都会增强的
mobility and
这样的这个
the
现象。
sense
有
of
几种类似的
joy
东
is
西哈，
also increased,
它
and
就
so there are
代表着
several
你已经开始有了这种产
phenomena
生多巴胺
has
这种
already
幸福快乐的
indicated
因
that
子
you
的
have
这样的
already
可能性
generated
吧哈。
dopamine and
不分
the
顺序。
element of
比如说
joyness. Okay,
你
so
感
say
觉
for
到口腔
example,
里有甘
if
甜的
you
液体，
feel that you have sweet
像甘露
salivers
一
in
般
your
的
mouth,
对对对，甘甜的
it's
液
just
体
like
啊，但是你这
nectar,
个期间并没有吃糖哈。
and you didn't had
那
any
么还有呢，就是你的
candy
皮肤
or
啊、手
sugar.
掌啊，
And
就
also,
是
if you feel
在触
your
摸的时候就是很润滑。
hand, the
比之
skin
前的
of your
滑
hands are very
这
smooth
个
and
皮肤
smoother
变
than
细腻了。
before and
那么还有呢，
refined.
就是练功的时候
And
莫
if
名的流
you,
眼泪，
well,
也没
during
人
your
给你
practice,
讲
if
感动人的
you
故事，对不
are
对？但是你
tearing,
就是
you know,
你眼泪哗哗
nobody
的
is
流出来。
telling you any,
甚至
you
走八
know,
卦的
sad
时候，
stories, or
就是眼
and
泪也
you're
是
just
哗哗流出
like
来。
even when you're
这些
practicing
都是 多
Energy
巴
Bagua, you
胺
are,
产生
you
的这
know,
个状态。
shedding a lot of
那
tears.
么还有
This is also one of the indications, and
身体某些
also
部位
when
产生
you
那个跳
part
动，
some of your
或者是
body
发痒。
are like
这
itchy
是
or
又一个
ju-
层次哈，
kind of
更深了一
jumping.
点层次的之后的
And
一
so
种
this
现
is
象。
a little
像跳动和发痒的部位呢，
a
是
more
过去我们身体
advanced
当中，其实
level.
那个部
So
位
when
就是
it's
它这个
itchy
能量的
or
通道是
jumping,
被
it's
堵
actually
塞了，
before maybe
或者
the
被
the
那种
channel is
邪风哈
blocked,
吹到
or
了，
maybe
就好
there's
像在你的
a
身体里
draft
钉了一个木头
that
钉子一样。
actually
所
has
以你那
blown
个
on you,
稍稍
and
有
so
点累，
it's
那个
like
地
there
方
was
就
a
痛
nail
是这样，就那被封住了啊。
kind
所以当
of
那个地方要打通的这个
there
过
was a
程的时
nail
候，这个
blocking
时
the
候呢，
meridians
就
or
可
the
能会有
channels there,
胀
and
跳，
and
或
so
者
when
是
the
发痒
energy
这个状态。这
block
都是一个
unblock
中获
the
得
channels,
这
and
个
then
多巴胺
you
的
would
一个
feel
现象。
that the muscle
真的
might
是
be
很美
jumping
好
or
真的是
itchy, and so
那
this is
现
so
在我们已
beautiful.
经
And a lot of our online friends are starting to post their benefits, especially the benefits that has something to do with a similar, symptoms. And 太红汤 said, "Oh, I saw this brother's sharing. I really
当时跟
I thought a
这位
lot.
师兄很
I'm
相
not
似。
afraid of
我拿
Parkinson's,
汤
but I
匙和
really
筷
have
子的时候，手真的
hereditary
很抖，
shaking,
我都不
you know,
能
hand
拍照。
shaking.
然后
And
在
so when
那
I'm
个
holding
投
a
影教
spoon,
课
my
的
hand
时
is
候，
shaking.
他的手
And
指
when
着
I
荧
was,
幕的字
you
迹
know, when I was
跳个不
teaching,
停，就
my
是
hands
这
was,
个指
you
着那
know,
个荧幕上的字啊，都不断的在那里跳。
was
结果我
pointing
们
to
全体
the
同学笑的
slides,
都
and
哈哈
then
大笑，
my
笑得
hands
合
were
不拢
shaking
嘴，
so much
以为我
that my
害怕的手
students
抖，我
were
尴尬的要
laughing
命。
at me. They thought that I
哎，
was
就是这样。
scared or I was
2019年，我走
afraid,
八卦
and
半年
I
吧。
was so
有一天，我
embarrassed.
家师姐
And,
发觉我的手不
and
抖
once
了。
I was
从那天开
once
始，
I was
我就
starting
可以
to
替人拍
practice
美
Energy
美
Bagua,
美的照片
my
了。
wife
真的
noticed
感恩
that
八卦内功，
oh,
感
my
恩师
hands
傅
are
的
not
殊胜
shaking
妙法。
anymore, and
你
I'm
看，
so
就是这
happy
半
I
年的
can
八
take
卦，就
good
可以让
pictures
他
now.
这个遗
Just
传性的这
6
个手的
months
这种颤
of
抖啊，
hand
其实也是
shaking.
可能一种
You
对
know,
运动
it's
神经
a
性的不
genetic
完美吧，就
disease.
是这样，
Maybe
也
it's
造成这
also
种
an
遗传性
imperfection
的
of
病
some
患，在
neurons.
走八卦
And
半年后，
after
不知
6
不觉的
months
他就
of
好了。
walking Energy Bagua, just
看
without
现在网友们
knowing,
很开
this
心的。
shaking
对
disappeared.
他这个多么的那个好，
哦
就是它是先天的。
Yeah,
走了
because
半年
this
都
is
走好了，
like,
我觉得这个
yeah,
太
to
太
cure a
太惊喜
genetic,
了，就是
you know,
先天的。
disease.
对，
Yeah,
遗传
this
性的。
is very,
哦，这个
very
是
hard.
真是奇迹。
Yeah, this
对。
is really
通
a
常先天的
miracle.
一些问
Usually,
题哈，不太容易康
when
复哈。对，
you have the
对呀，
disease
这
from
八卦
birth,
多
then
好。
it's very hard to
厉害。
cure.
对，
师傅，那其实这一段的时候呢，还有就是包括我们在马来西亚还有一位师兄，他是帕金森症患者，所以他也是非常
In
的
Malaysia,
感
there
动
was
禅修
another
和走八卦
Parkinson's
给他带来
disease
了
a
翻天
patient,
覆地的
and
本质
he
性
was
的
also
变
very,
化
very
啊，我们也很想在这
excited
里
and
跟
wanted
师
to
傅和网友
share
们一起来分
his
享他的故
benefits
事。
with.
好的，好的。
Let's watch his sharing.
亚特兰大奥
The
运会
opening
开幕会
ceremony
上
of the
昔日拳
1996
坛的传奇
Olympic
拳王阿
opening
里
ceremony, the
用颤颤巍巍
legendary
的手点
what
燃了奥
set
运
the
圣
Olympic
火。
torch aligned with his
这个镜
trembling
头的冲
hands.
击是
Many
很多
people,
人对
he
帕
was
金森
suffering
病
from
的第一印
Parkinson's
象。
disease.
除了拳王
Besides
阿里，还
Ali,
有很多耳
many
熟能详的
well-known
名人
celebrities
饱受帕
have
金森
suffered
疾
from
病的折磨。
Parkinson's,
4次奥斯卡
Oscar
最佳
winner
女主
Katharine
角凯瑟
Hepburn,
琳·赫本，台
including
湾
4
著名
times,
音乐
and
人李
Taiwan
泰
famous
祥，
musician Li Taixiang,
中国文学巨匠
and
巴金，
Chinese literary
一代
giant
中国领袖
Ba
邓
Jing,
小平
and
等等。
the legendary Chinese leader
截止
Xiao
到
Pingdeng.
2017年，
In
全世界帕
2017,
金
there
森
are
病人
close to
总
5
数
million
将近
Parkinson's
500万人，
sufferers
并且这
worldwide,
个数
and
字
this
还
number
在
is
逐年
increasing
增加。
every year.
帕金森病
Parkinson's
成
will
为近
become
年
the
来
number
在
3
中老年
killer
人群中
of
仅
mature
次于
people,
肿瘤
right
和
after
心脑
cancer
血管疾
and
病的第
cerebral
三大
vascular
杀手，
illnesses.
被称为
It's
不
as
死的
bad
癌
as
症。
cancer, but non-fatal.
我叫 Victor，
My name is Victor,
中文
Chinese
名叫
name
卢玉林。
Yiling Lu.
我以前退休
Before I
之前呢，
retired,
是在一家
I
美
was a
商公司里
manager
面当
at
经
an
理，
American company.
性格是得
When
理
I
不饶
thought I
人，
was right,
也
I'd never
讲
give
道理，
in. I
可是
thought
有
I
道
was a
理之后
reasonable
呢，
person,
对别人不是很
but I
宽
was
容的性格。
intolerant.
我的帕金森
In
病
January
呢是2011
2011, I
年
was
1月时候
diagnosed
发
with
现的，
Parkinson's.
到现在呢
I've
有
lived
6
with it
年
for
半
over
了。
6 years.
那时候呢，我的速度非
Previously,
常的
I could
慢，
only walk very
很慢很
slowly.
慢，
My movements were always
行
very
动很
slow.
慢，然后呢，全
I
身没有力
lacked
气，
energy.
开个瓶盖都
I
很有
found
困
it
难。
hard even to open a
然后
bottle.
呢，肌
My
肉疼
muscles
痛，
ached, and I was prone
晕眩
to
晕
dizziness
眩，
and falls.
容易跌倒，然后呢抖，
I also suffered
抖起来
uncontrollable
的时候你
tremors.
不能控制嘛，它又痛，
I was in pain.
而且呢又影
The
响你的
illness
生
drastically
活素质。
affected my life.
我去吃
I
那
tried
种鹿胎
taking
素，
deer placenta,
贵的要命，没
which
有
was
效。
expensive but didn't help.
然后很多
I
那
also
个
took a
健
lot
康
of
传销
so-called
的
health
健康产品啊，也没有效。
But to
然后有
no
一些什
avail.
么
I
红
even
外
tried
线的
infrared
衣服啊
clothes
等等啊，负离子的衣
and
服啊
clothing with negative
都没有
ions,
效。
but nothing
所以
worked.
呢，我花了
I
很多钱
spent，a lot of
那
money.
钱还算是小
Money was
事，
not a
可
problem.
是没有效
The。problem was that nothing
随
worked.
着时间的
While
推
he was
移，
worrying about his health
就在他哀
condition.
愁于多种方法不能解决身体疾病的时候，另一个恶魔
Another
正
problem
在向他
developed.
悄悄逼近。
以前的好友呢，
I
一直
started
约
to distance
见面，
myself from
到
my
外面去
friends
见面，我都退掉了。
because I didn't want
因为
them
真
to
的不
see
想见
me
人。
in that state.
那见人的话
When I saw them,
更惨，
I felt
别人
worse.
都健健康
They're
康
all
的，自己
healthy,
就半死
and I was half
半
dead.
死的这样子的状况啊，觉得还是不想
I
见人比较
prefer
好
to。be alone.
每一个帕金森病人
Patients
呢
with
都会
Parkinson's
有忧郁
often
症。
suffer depression.
我发现自
When
己
I
有
was
忧郁症的
diagnosed
时候
with
呢，就
depression,
经常想
I
自我
wanted
了
to
断。
kill myself.
生病了第
The
三
third
年，
year living with
第三年的时候
Parkinson's,
呢，就
I
时
often
常
had
想这
suicidal
样。
thoughts.
后来我太太气
My
得
wife became
就很
very
生气嘛，
angry.
她就说
She said,
如果你真
if
的
you
要
want to
死到外
die,
面死，
die
不要在
somewhere
家里
else.
死。
Don't terrify me
不要
by
吓死
dying
我。
at home.
每天都是钻
Every
牛角
day
尖
I
的，就
was
想
gripping about
就
everything.
说自己
I kept
从一个
lamenting
那么
that
有
I
用的
used
人
to be
变
so
成一
able
个
only to
快
become
残障了，
totally
一点用都
useless.
没有了，何必再浪
Why
费
waste
资
time
源
and
呢？
money on me?
就
I might as well
有尊
die
严的去吧。
with dignity.
时间追溯
Then,
到
in
2016
August
年8月，
2016,
我们在马来西亚
they were in
PJ
the
区
PJ
菩提
region
禅
of
修
Malaysia.
宝
They came
林
to
禅
Bao
堂
Ling
所
Bodhi
记录的
Meditation
一段
Center.
视频。
就觉得人生好
I
像没
felt
有
there
什么
was
希
no
望，
hope in my life.
而且很多
There were
其他
other
的病友
Parkinson's
啊，
patients
我见到其他
who
病友比
suffered
我
much more than
更
me.
痛苦的，一面为他
I
们担
was
心，一
worried
方
about
面你自己
them. I
很
was
怕，
also
没有安
afraid.
全感，
I felt
想到
so
可能以
insecure.
后
I
的
thought that
对
in the
未来
future
的某一
I
天
might
会像
become
他们
like
这样子
them. What a
那就很
miserable
惨。
life.
撞火咯！
I got angry, very angry.
我講
I said,
你咁樣死
if you
啦，我
die,
點啊？
what will I do?
我講我哋
I said, we'd continue to search for alternatives.
Looking for other way.
终于有
Finally,
缘
with
就
luck,
遇上了菩提禅修，
We
机
found Bodhi
缘是
meditation.
龙泉
Zhou Shen, a
禅
Dharma
堂的一
sister
位师
from
姐叫
Long
周胜
Dragon Spring
从
Center,
很严重的帕金森
was
呢好
recovering
转
very
了。
well from
而且
severe
现在准备去
Parkinson's. She
跑
was
马拉松。
even preparing to run a
我和
marathon.
Mr. Ong 听到这
After
个消息
Mr.
呢，
Ong
就
and
赶
I
快
got this,
联系
I contacted
周
her
胜师姐，
immediately and we talked.
在电话上跟他聊过了。他说来
She
学
said
习
that
菩
Bodhi
提禅修
meditation could certainly help
一定
me.
会有帮助的，所以我们就开始
So we
半
joined.
信半疑。
We were skeptical
那
at
时
the
候根
beginning.
本就
At
不
that
知道
time, I
什么
knew
是菩提
nothing
禅
about
修嘛
Bodhi。meditation,
我反正我是
but
找
I
方
was
法
looking
嘛，
for ways to get better.
看有人觉得 OK，
If it worked for
那我
other
们就不
people,
妨
we
试
might
一
as
试。
well give it a try.
2016
In
年
December
12月，
2016,
在宝
at the
林
Bao
禅
Ling
堂，我们
Center,
再次见到了
we
卢
met
先
Mr.
生。
Lu
和
again.
他一起来学习
There were
禅修
two
的，还
Parkinson's
有另外
patients
2
with
位
him.
帕金森患者。这次的访问
This
距离他
interview
第一
took
次参
place
加禅
6
修课
months
程已经有6
after
个
his
月。
first Bodhi meditation
在这
class.
6个月不间断的
Given
禅
their
修中，
constant
他
practice
和
over
他
the
的
6
帕金森
months,
病友
what kind of
又会
surprise
给我们带
do
来
he and his
怎样
friends
的
have
惊
in
喜？
store for us?
我是6年
I've
半
had
的
Parkinson's for over 6 years. Parkinson's disease makes a person lose mobility.
disorder 就手脚不行动不方便。可是呢，
But I
我
want
就
to
是想
challenge that
6年半的
and
Parkinson
prove
呢
that after more than 6 years of Parkinson's, I can recover and dance up a storm. Dance up a storm.
多年的帕金森病
Years
症
of
让他
Parkinson's
举
disease
步
had
维艰，
limited his
甚至不想
mobility
出门
to the
见
point
人。
that he didn't want to
而
meet
今天，
people.
如果
But
不是
today,
亲眼
if he
见
did
证，
not see
连
him with
我
your
们
own
都
eyes, it
很
would be
难
hard
相
to
信。
believe that.
眼前跳着飞快牛
This
仔舞
quick,
的人，
agile
竟然是
person
一位6
had
年半
suffered
的
Parkinson's
帕金森
disease
病
for
人。
over 6 years.
禅修
Meditation and health
健
are
康快乐，
two sides of the
一体两
same
面。
coin.
因为心情可以影
Our
响身体
mood
嘛，
affects our
身
physical
体也
body
影响
and
心
vice
情，
versa.
相辅相成。你看我还稍
Look,
微有点抖，
I'm still
可是已
shaking
经
a
进
bit,
步很多了。
but it's
不然
much
我
better
是
now. You can
前
ask
几
my
次我
teacher.
跟站
At
在
the
他旁边
beginning,
都抖得比较厉
she
害，
shook
现在比
badly
较少
when。I was there. Now it's
帕
much
金
less.
森病症
The
的
progress
进
can be
步有
seen
2
in
个
two
啦，一个
ways.
是那个
One is voice.
声音，因为帕金森病人的
A Parkinson's patient's
大概
voice
应该是98%的，他的声音会慢慢
will
变小。
become 90% softer
我
over
的是
time.
来了这里
But
就
mine
变大
became
声。
louder once I joined Bodhi meditation. My
很大声的。
voice can be very
我是
loud.
大声公，
My voice can be a very
我是大声公。
My
其实
voice can be
我
very
在
loud. In
2016
2016 till the
今年
beginning of this
开
year,
始的时候
I
走
wasn't
路
able
情
to
况就
walk
比较
normally.
不好，所以来的时候
I
是
either
拿着
had
那
to
拐
use
杖
a
或者要
a
扶着
cane mine or be supported by my helper. I walk unsteadily, but after 2 or 3 days at the health and happiness retreat, all of a sudden, I could walk very steadily. I noticed that right away, Mr. Ong, when he returned to the Parkinson Center for an event. He looked so happy.
就是脸都
发光，
灿烂，很 radiant。
容光焕发。
His face glowed with health and delight.
而且他走路也
And his walking was improved so much. The most important part is his voice. Before, when he talked with me, I couldn't hear him clearly. I felt bad asking him to repeat. But after the retreat, his voice was loud. Everyone there noticed that. We were all greatly encouraged. Thus, I came to Bodhi meditation. Perhaps because they've suffered the same illness, these patients share much in common, and they became each other's support and witnesses during their recovery at Bodhi meditation. In this interview, we learned that this group of Parkinson's patients set up another chat group on the internet, trying to help more Parkinson's sufferers. Also, they formed a meditation club for Parkinson's patients. They practice together every week and share their experiences. We practice together every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4:30 p.m. at Clown Dragon Spring Bodhi Meditation Center. We get together to practice and we ask questions, then try to find answers together. Now, there are about 15 of us. We welcome all Parkinson's patients to join us at Bodhi meditation. Our first health and happiness retreat took place on July 23, 2016, almost a year ago. I've attended the health and happiness retreat 7 times and the level 2 chanting class once. I just don't want to stop. I practice every day without fail. I regained my confidence. I'm 100% confident now. My temperament has also changed. I'm more tolerant and compassionate. After several health and happiness retreats, I feel my character has changed. Before, I wouldn't give in if I'm right. Now I'm more forgiving and compassionate. In April 2017, Malaysia Bodhi Meditation organized Bathing the Buddha Festival Blessing Ceremony, attended by an audience of 5,000. This group of Parkinson's patients walked up on stage, eager to share their stories of fighting Parkinson's. From July 23rd last year to April 23rd this year, in these 9 months, I put my heart and soul into my meditation practice. My health improved gradually, and my depression is gone. Bodhi meditation not only helped me to regain my health, it changed my character too. One day when I was in a chanting class, all of a sudden a thought came to my mind. If Parkinson's can be eliminated from this earth tomorrow, I'm willing to take on all the pain of all Parkinson's sufferers. Parkinson's, I will conquer you. One person, 7 health and happiness retreats, practicing daily for 365 days, never skipping a day. An internet group of a dozen Parkinson's groups sharing their experience with 5,000 people. A wish to help 5 million Parkinson's patients. One light kindles 100 and 100 kindles million. This transmission of compassion is Bodhi meditation. Thank you, Grandmaster.
师兄的这个分享，我觉得特别感动。
对，
I'm
我们
so
网友
touched
都在有的留言都说已经
when I
感动哭
watched
了，都落泪了。
this video.
就是
A
一
lot
个
of our
都已
online
经想
friends
了
also
断自己的这样的一位，
are
就
touched.
是深度的这样的患者。
Yeah, they're
经过
all
八卦内功修
commenting.
炼以后，不仅恢复
So
了健康，
after
还让他
practicing
这么有
Energy
信
Bagua,
心，
not
也
only
把
he
这个方法去
recovered,
传播给别人，
and he had
特别
such
是最后
confidence to
他
share
能够
with
有一
others
个
about
更
this
高尚的
practice.
愿望，能够为 希望这个病
And
能
he
够
had
从这地
such
球
a
上永
big
远消失，他都
vow
愿意来承担这种所有的
for
痛
this
苦，
disease
有
to
这样的
completely
改变，我觉
disappear
得
on
师父你
earth.
太
And
了不起了。
for this purpose, he is willing to take all the
这是
sufferings
大
and
家的
pain
福气啊！
of all Parkinson's patients.
那这位师兄呢？
What a
其实
courage
这个
and a
见证已
great
经是
vow.
几年前的了。那这位
This
师兄到现在为止
testimonial is
都是每天
actually
修炼
quite a
大
few
光明
years
和
ago.
八卦
Even
内功
until
所以
now,
他
this
现在
brother
健康情
still
况非常的好，
practice
抖
Energy
对
Bagua
这个
every
特别
day.
的好。
So
我看到还有
he's
其他的
not
马来
having
马来
any
西亚的弟
tremor
子和网友
anymore.
们都说，哎呀，
A
这
lot
位
of
师兄
our
他比我
Malaysian
2019
friends,
年看到的时候还
oh,
要好呢，是不是？
yeah,
都在
oh,
恭喜他，都在
we've
恭喜
seen him. He's even
我是
better
在假设
now.
哈，
So
好
I'm
坏
just
都要想。
supposing. Well, let's
如
think
果
about
像
both
这样的
ends, good and
病友
bad.
哈，
So for
如
this
果家庭
disease,
状况又
if
不幸福，
the family
又没
is
有办法
also
医
not
治的话，
happy, and if there's
那
no
又是什么
cure,
样的状态？
so what
真的
state
叫
would
绝
the
望了。
patient be?
他不用自己了断，这可能就没
He
了。
对
probably didn't
哎
even
就
need
好
to
像
kill
那个
himself.
那
He
个药
would
师经里
probably
面讲的无医无药
disappear.
无亲无家
Just
哎
like
呀
in the
太
medicine
那个了
Buddha's
就
sutra,
是你说你
no
过去他又
medicine,
聪明能
no
干，是
healing,
吧？
no
对，很成功的。
又不太
family.
年龄又不是很
Before,
老，
he
成功
was
人士。
very
成功人
smart
士
and he
是
was
吧？一
very
个高管，
successful
对
and he was
美国
not
美资
old
企业的
and
高
he
管。
was a senior
嗯
manager in an
一个像
American
他自己说的，
company.
一个特别聪明能
有用的人
干的人，
Such
突
an
然之
able
间，
person,
变得无
all of a
用了。
sudden,
哎，就没用了，
he
处在一个
became
病态的，
useless.
哎，
Like
任何事
he
都
was
需要
so
家
sick
人伺候，
and everything he
哎，
needs to be
他自己
served.
就苦恼。
And
对
he's
他说他都
so
不愿意去见朋友，他说人家都健健康康的，我一个
yeah,
半
he
死
was
的
so
人，他就这
painful
样来
and
形容
he
自己。
didn't
这
want
这
to
忧
see
郁，
anyone.
谁不
He's
忧郁啊？
almost
他
like a
是，
dead
别
person.
人
Of
说会不会
course, he
引
would
发
be
忧郁症
depressed.
啊？就处在这样
Yeah,
的一种身体
just
状态，
in
谁都
such
会忧
a
郁。
physical
对
condition,
对，这忧
anyone
郁症
would
就
be
这么来的。
depressed. That's how depression comes.
那所以的话，他的这些变
So
化哈，
all
就是
these changes
太激励人，太
对
高兴了。所以他是非常感
are
恩师傅，因
really
为我们看了之
inspiring.
后，我们都是多么
He's
的感恩
so
师傅啊！
grateful for Grandmaster,
他
and
也是
when
很
we
有
watch
福
the
气了，
video,
能够
we're
遇到这
all
个
so
遇到师
grateful
傅，遇到这么好的
for
法。
对
Grandmaster,
对，
and
他
he's
也
very
他也算
fortunate
蛮
to
聪
be
明的，明
able
白，因为
to
他尝试过各
hear
种
about
不
Bodhi
同的方
meditation
法，
and
对吧？
learn the
就是
practices
有
from
吃
Bodhi
那种健
meditation.
康那种
And
健
well,
康
he
路餐
tried
素，对，
many,
一
many
些衣
different
服，
ways.
哎
He
呦，
even
吃的
would
穿
wear
的，他
these
只要别人介
ultra
绍
red
说广告里
clothes
说
or
可能
you
有
know
效，他都去
negative
尝试，
eon
但是最后
clothes
还
or
是说没
whatever
有效果。
is in the
那到最
advertisement,
后
he
是
would
什么？
try it.
真的是
But
接
at
触
the
了
end,
菩提禅修，
it's
文
Bodhi
化内功以后，
meditation
哎呀，这个也是
finally,
很
this
快的，
Energy
就是他的这个
Bagua
显
that
著的这个
truly helped
变
him.
化，让他
This
越来越有信
change
心。
is
你看，好像
very,
他就
very
又能够
dramatic
舞
and
姿
very
翩翩
quickly.
好，
He
就是
can
在禅
already
堂里。
通常开
dance.
始见效都是在1个月以内就开始见效。
Usually within a
对。
month,
所以他越来越
Energy
有信
Bagua
心
will
了。
对。
already
他6
show
个
the
月的时候，他
benefit.
这里边已经
After
他把
6
病友
months,
都带
he
来了，
already
对。
bring
很大的
the
改
other
善。
对，他已经
patients to
产生
come
巨
to
大的
Bodhi
效果。
meditation because the
对，
benefits
对，
are
对，他把
huge.
所有认识的病友都叫来。
对，
Yeah.
对，
然后你
So
看那个
he
病友
called
对他们
all
描
the
述说，
other
哎呀，
patients
这
that
位
he
师兄怎
knew.
么变化这么大，脸上
And
容光
yeah,
焕发的，
because
就
the
是
other
这种
patient
形
would
容。
see how
对，
come
所以
he
他
had
说话
such
声音
big
我们都听不
changes.
见，
And
是，
是吧？现
before,
在声音那么洪亮。
对，
people
哎，
cannot
对。
hear what he's saying,
哎，
but
这
now
个
he's
全
so
换了
loud.
人了。
对。
Yeah.
而且他这种症状啊，其他的
And
颤抖的
this
症状都在非常
symptom
快的迅速好转中。
is recovering very,
还有
very
师兄
quickly.
也是觉
And
得，哎，反而学了禅修，
And
走了
also
八卦
he
以
said
后，这个
after
病好了，身体好了
meditation
起来了，
and
怎么我的性格也开始
practicing
变
Energy
化了
Bagua,
呢？我觉
even
得
his
这一点
temperament
啊，
changed.
也是
Well,
他
this
很受益的一
is
部分。
also a
对，
big
说他是
benefit
得
because
理不饶
before
人呐。
he
哎，
would
现
just
在也宽
argue
容
a
了，也
point
慈
to
悲
death.
了。
Like now, he's
对，
very
其实这
tolerant tolerant and forgiving and compassionate. As an entrepreneur, he didn't have a very sharp temperament. You know, managing people is not very easy. When a manager is too forgiving, it's very, very hard to manage an enterprise. So managers or entrepreneurs are like military officers. The bigger the company is, then the less profit they might have, as long as the employees will complain or cry, maybe they have to increase is the salary, and so entrepreneurs are very similar to those military officers, and so that's why he had that personality before. But that personality is not very beneficial for his health. Maybe that's good for the enterprise, but it's not good for his own health when he's very strict with others. Of course, he himself would be also very tight, and other people might blame him and also have negative thoughts on him. Of course, he would also receive that negative energy, and he would be hurt by that. And luckily, he met Bodhi meditation. He came to us. He benefited so much, and at the end, when he shared with over 5,000 people his great vow, he wished the Parkinson's disease would disappear from the earth. He would rather take the pen of all the Parkinson's patients. So this vow is so, it's such a wonderful vow that everybody would respect him. Would that vow give any pressure on him or bring any benefits to him? When I look at him and look at his complexion, well, he had such a big disease. I know that he's very sincere. And when he has a sincere vow, of course that will bring him pressure. What if he would die in misery? Yeah, let's tell the truth. Yeah, when you see cancer, everybody would be afraid that cancer will come to ourselves, right? Yeah. When sometimes when you cure other people, yeah, you might have maybe a week you cannot get up, and so when he made that vow, of course there's pressure, but because of that sincerity, that actually helped him tremendously. That actually will help him to recover quickly. And even if before you had bad karma, this is a quick release and elimination of the bad karma. Do you still remember? The bad karma is actually will bring us down, but this great vow will make us lighter and bring us up. And so this, of course, when we are lighter, our health and happiness will also go up. And we also learned that Fa Zhang Bodhisattva also had a big vow to, and eventually with that great vow he became Buddha. And so all those legendary Bodhisattvas, well actually the current today's life, there are lots of Bodhisattvas, Bodhi students, Bodhi disciples. A lot of them are like Bodhisattvas. That Lin Zhihong, who taught the first, Lin Zhihong now, He Xun, yeah, who introduced Yu Ben Cheng to come to learn Energy Bagua. He's like a Bodhisattva. He finds every single way to help other suffering people to come and learn. When he saw other people are very sick, he do everything to help him. And whenever the patient is tired, he's helping, he's comforting. And so I really want to give some presents to that Lin Zhihong, whose Dharma name is He Xun. He's now the leader of an Energy Bagua group. From 2019, he's already the leader of the Energy Bagua group in one park. And then he went to another park to become the to be the leader of the Energy Bagua group there. And he helped so many people. He not only learned meditation and energy Bagua, he
他
also
真的去
learned the
做了
spirit of Bodhisattva,
还行啊。
and
对
he
帮
put
的人说
into
他还是那么
action.
谦逊、
And he's
谦卑
always
的感
and
觉，
he's
对不
always
对？
very
这才
humble
是真正
when
的
he's
佛。
helping.
不是说
This
帮的人
is
之
a
后就
true
是吧昂首
Bodhisattva.
挺
It's
胸
not
像
like,
烈士
oh,
一般的
when
那么
I'm
厉害，
helping others,
没有，
they're
他
not
还是
very
那么的谦虚
arrogant.
谨
He's
慎，
still
啊
so
真是
humble.
棒啊！
好温
He's
暖
really
啊。
wonderful,
送个小礼
so
物，聊表寸
heartwarming.
心。
Okay,
感恩师
le-
傅，哎呀，我们
I
是没
want to
有这
give
样的
him
菩萨，
a
心里
small
都觉得好
present
温暖。
to
也替
express
这个贺群师兄感恩师傅
Yeah
啊，真是
哎，
开
送
心。
你个这
my
个
appreciation.
小紫砂壶吧。
So let
啊
me
这
give
个小
you
壶最少
this
就是一个纪念品吧。
师傅
purple
把玩的壶，这个
我
能量自
有把玩我也用
然
沙
啊，就
teapot.
在我的屋里放了好几年了哈
It。has been
哎
in
送
my
给这位林
room
师兄
for
啊，
many
祝你
years.
健康长寿，如意吉祥。我还给你们那个拔高点儿呢，
Wish
再
you
送上两
health
饼茶
and
叶啊。
longevity,
Oh,
and I will
大家
also
越来
give you
越
哎，
2
对对对
boxes of tea for
好
your
祝贺祝贺
Energy Bagua group.
感恩师傅。
Thank you, thank you,
赞
Grandmaster.
叹他。
对，
真好。
师傅
Wow.
就是，其实您看哈，就是我们学习禅修，学习菩提禅修，学习八卦内功，欢喜
So
的、
this
开
is a
心的是，
purple
哎呦，看到
stoneware
这么多人恢复了
teapot.
健康，由衷的为他们
Oh,
高
when
兴
we
哈。
see so
但是
many
也是
people
今
get
天看
well,
到
we're so
又有这
happy.
样的
And
几位
today,
师兄
we
师姐
see
曾经也是患
also,
者，但是他们由衷的
some
发出了这种
brothers
愿
and
意去
sisters, they
助
used
人
to
的
be
这
patients,
种
but
菩萨心肠的这种
from the
愿望的
bottom
时
of
候，
their
我
heart,
真的
they
是觉得
make this
很感
vow.
动，
They want to
很
be
温
a
暖。我
Bodhisattva
觉
to
得他
help
们学
others.
到
I
了师傅慈
really,
悲的精髓。
I'm
我
so
们也要向
touched,
他们
and I
学习，
对
把八卦内功传
I
到
think that they
千家万
learned
户
the
哈，让更
spirit
多
of
更多的人
compassion
心
from
里永远
Grandmaster,
是
and
想着让更多
we
的受
need
苦
to
的
learn
人
from
来
them
受益，
because they are
你心里
always
永远是想着让他们来
thinking
学
about
习菩
helping
提
those
禅修，
people who
学
are
习八卦
suffering,
内功，
and
来向金
they
菩提
want
宗
to
师学习，
learn
这些
Energy
人就有
Bagua
可能
and
去
Bodhi
离苦得乐
meditation
了。
so that these people can benefit.
我应该还送礼呢，给这个
I
尤先生
also
哈，第一个
need
台
to
湾的见证
give
人，刘文强先生哈，
a present
对，
to
真是
Mr.
很
Yo,
好哈，对，
who
也获得了
shared
健
his
康了，我跟
story
着一
at
起
the
幸福。
beginning. It's so good that he
送
recovered
送
from
一件，他的姻缘是从八卦
He
就
started
受益嘛
from
哈，
Energy
送一个
Bagua
咱们的八卦
to
衫
have the
啊，
connection with
哎
us, so I will give him
八卦天天走。
Energy
活
Bagua
到
T-shirt.
99，
Walk
对了
Energy Bagua
哎
every day,
这个
live
型号来
till
说的话
99
呢，到
years
时候
old.
给咱们工作人员再一起联系吧。
好的
我，觉得加
So
大号应该是可以的
I
哈。
think an XL should
祝尤
fit
先
you.
生健康
I
长
wish
寿。
Mr. Yu health and longevity.
那刚才的这一位卢义林卢先生
So
也
this
是卢师
this
兄
is an
他
Energy
也是
Bagua quick
不
dry
仅自
T-shirt.
己受益哈，还带了那么多
对
这个帕金森
病
的
That
病友
Mr.
一起来受
Lu,
益
not only he himself from
有礼物
Malaysia,
对，也是很值得表
not
扬的
himself
有礼物
get better, he also brings so many
送
Parkinson's
给他也
patients
是一
come
件
here.
八卦衫。
I'll
哎
also
再送
give
你2
him
饼这个菩提的普洱
I'll
茶。
also give him
哎，
some presents. Energy Bagua quick dry T-shirt and also 2 tea cakes,
这么多了，我也不好
pu'er
展
tea
示了
cakes.
哈。
There's so
哎，
many.
这个八卦
I'm
衫
not
这个
going
八卦衫特别
to
好啊，
对速干的
demo,
速
you
干
know,
透
透气
气不臭。
show
啊
everyone.
对
And this
这茶
Energy
叶都
Bagua
放了快
T-shirt
10
is
年了哈，
very good,
这些都
quick
成了
dry.
宝了，
And
都成
these
了宝了，对我们这个身体
pu'er
健康
tea
哈，
has already
一
been
定是有
an
相
aged
当大
pu'er
的帮
tea,
助哈。
and so it's
好，
already a
哎，
treasure,
这
and
叫
it
啥来
will
着？
definitely be
卢
very
卢
helpful
义林
for
卢义林哈，
our
好
health.
祝福
So
卢义
so
林
for
先生哈，对你健
wish
康
Lu
长寿，
Yiling
如意吉
health,
祥。
longevity,
到
auspiciousness,
师傅，那我们
and
的
wish
网友也
fulfillment.
纷纷跟师傅来报喜。
A lot of our
今
online
天讲
friends
到
are
帕
also
金森嘛
reporting their
那很多
benefits
网友也在
because
讲自
today
己
we're
的这个
talking
受益
about
的经历
Parkinson's
啊。
and they're also
你看这
talking
一位
about
东
their
涛
experience. This
啊
Dong
他
Tao,
是来自于马来西亚娇来禅堂
he's
的。
from
他说
Jiao Lai
师傅早上
Center,
好，
said,
弟子东涛
Good
于
morning,
2015年
Grandmaster.
12月
In
被诊断为一名帕金森
December
患者。
2015, I was
当时的状
diagnosed
况
as
可以说已到了
Parkinson's
手
disease.
脚无力、寸步
At
难
that
移
time,
的
my
地
hands
步
and
了。
feet has no
幸运
energy
的
at
是，
all. I
于
couldn't even
2016
move
年
one
6
step.
月接触了
But
无意
luckily, in June 2016, oh, he's really lucky. Only like in 6 months, he already heard about Bodhi meditation, and he eventually get back to normal, especially walking Energy Bagua. The benefit was so obvious. After 3 months of Energy Bagua, the feet are getting very flexible and can walk like a normal person. Thank you, Grandmaster. The constant practice can control the disease. Oh, wow, so wonderful. And he said a lot of gratitude. So, Dong Tao. Congratulations. This disease is so hard for doctors to cure, but you get recovered. Okay, I'll give you a present. Yes, I'll give you an Energy Bagua T-shirt. Quick dry T-shirt. Wish Dong Tao health, longevity, wish fulfillment, and auspiciousness.
好，师傅，那再向您分享一位我们来自于纽约的林向丹，他的分享是看了第一位师兄的分享，我对八卦更有信心了。我爸爸也有运动障碍，不想见朋友。爸爸他有小脑萎缩。
And he also has a brain disease, and when he was walking, he's like drunk. Even walk 7 minutes, it would be very, very hard. And now he can walk 1 hour of Energy Bagua. He doesn't feel tired. And sometimes he'll even walk again after the Energy Bagua, and he's walking very steadily. You know, this disease is unreversible, in the medical science. So my father get well now, and he will continue to practice Energy Bagua. So how is he now? Grandmaster asked. He actually has already learned Energy Bagua. Last time you actually had a video call with him and instructed him, and so the person who shared is a lady. She was very anxious how her father can recover soon. So Grandmaster last time taught him to go and learn properly so that he can walk very properly. But because of the pandemic, there's no class. So Grandmaster, you even send a teacher to his home to teach him. Yes. Now he can walk 1 hour of Energy Bagua and doesn't feel tired at all. This is wonderful. Oh yes, I remember last time when I had the video call. It's a 3-member family. At that time he just started, and he just starting to benefit. And I see that his posture and his movements were not right. So that's why I asked the New York Center to send a teacher to his home to learn properly. And finally he can truly benefit. And yes, now he benefits so much. That's why they are posting the benefit. Congratulations, congratulations. I'll give him a present. For Lin Xiangdan's father, an Energy Bagua quick dry T-shirt and 2 tea cakes. Oh, for the whole family, right? And including parents and this lady, Ms. Lin. After you drink the Bodhi pu'er tea, you will be healthy, live long, you will happy, and also you will be very fit. That's wonderful. Thank you, Grandmaster, for that blessing. Okay, so the T-shirt and these 2 tea cakes. Yesterday, when we were talking about the spine and the bone issues, a lot of people were also talking about, movement issues. So this brother said, oh, actually, my son actually had a problem when he was born, and so he had cerebral palsy, and he wasn't able to cross a ditch. Yeah, so this is a difficulty in movement, and he couldn't cross any ditch, whether it's big or small. But 2 weeks after practicing Energy Bagua, he was able to cross a ditch, and it was when he when he was 17 years old, after he walked Energy Bagua, that's the first time he had the courage and was able to cross a ditch. And it's only after 2 weeks of practicing Energy Bagua. Oh my gosh, for parents, like 17 years, never seen the child crossing a ditch. And finally, he was able to cross the ditch. Imagine what the parents would feel. It's not just the child cross the ditch; it's the whole family crossing the ditch. Yeah, and it's all the fat pass in the front. Yeah. If you can't cross the ditch, how can you find a job and find a partner? Wow, this is a transformation. Wow, great. I'll give him a present. I'll give him the chanting beads. This purple one is for mother, and the red one is for the son who just passed the ditch. I wish your whole family happiness, auspiciousness, and I hope in your life you'll be able to cross over more difficulties. And yesterday there was an online friend from yesterday, Peng Bing. He actually was very happy to share. Oh, my neighbor was a young man of 30 years old, and 10 years ago, because of a car accident, he was paralyzed. He couldn't walk very smooth, couldn't walk properly, and he had to walk with the crutches. At the beginning of 2021, he started to practice Energy Bagua. Not long later, he was able. He didn't need the crutches anymore. He can walk by himself to come to my house and practice Energy Bagua with my parents. I'm so grateful. And you know, this is a very young man. He was able to, through practice Energy Bagua, he was able to throw away the crutches. It was because of car accident, and he became paralyzed. He had to walk with the crutches. And after practicing Energy Bagua, he's not paralyzed anymore. Okay, okay. He can throw away the crutches, throw away the disability. He can find a good job, and he can. Okay, don't stop practicing. Okay, yeah. So, should we give a present to Peng Bing? We shouldn't just give him only, but also that 30-year-old young man. So it's a neighbor. So he's the neighbor. Yeah. Oh, this is a living Bodhisattva who taught the young man Energy Bagua and helped him. So this young man is very lucky because he has a living Bodhisattva living right beside him. So, Peng Bing. So, who helped his neighbor and taught his neighbor Energy Bagua practice. Give Peng Bing the Energy Bagua T-shirt, and I'll give this young man a bracelet. Oh. Actually, I'll give him a Vajra pestle. Everything will be smooth for you. You'll never be a disabled person. You'll be a healthy person now. Wish everything smooth and wish fulfillment for you. And another sharing, Faben, Sister Faben also sent her sharing. She's already. Oh, it's in the United States, in Silicon Valley, from the Milpitas Center. And Sister Faben, 85 years old, a few years ago, she found that her right thumb and her right hand is trembling, and so doctor said that she had Parkinson's disease. She couldn't even get any dishes, and so he cannot use chopsticks anymore. He had to start to use spoons, and he also needs to cover his legs with towers so that the food will not spill on him. And then he started to practice Energy Bagua. Every morning he would practice from 4:30 a.m. For 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. So every time when it's dark, he will walk all the way until it's bright and enjoy the sunrise. And in order to train the strength of the right hand, he also copied the secret code of Energy Bagua, the book. And there's only a few pages left. And now he can write the whole book. And before he also had vision problem that he needed to wear glasses 300 degrees, but after walking 2 years, he could even do sewing. And he used to have also the bone spur on the knees, and now it was very painful whenever he used knees, and now he can it's not painful anymore, and he can now she can now do a lot of things that she couldn't even do when she was young. She could even do push-ups for 140 push-ups. Let's watch her video.
Oh,
she's doing. Oh, she's 85 years old. How can we imagine that she's 85 years old? She's doing sit-ups. You know, wow, Joy said, when I do sit-ups, I sometimes will have to, you know, cover my legs. And she can even do push-ups. Oh my gosh. Before, it was like this and shaking all the time, but now it can just be still. It won't be shaking.
真棒啊！你看这个帕金森表现的各种的程度都有。
Parkinson's disease
你看这
can
个
be
法
in
本，它是
different
这个就这个大手指头在那抖啊，是吧？
extent. Yeah. So his whole right hand was shaking before. And his finger can never stand still there. But now it can be very straight and can be still. And he can do sit-ups many times and push-ups many times. Oh my gosh. Well, but the illness also helped us to care about our health. It's just like when we are maintaining our car. You know, if you don't do any maintenance of the car won't be able to drive. And if you do good maintenance, then the car can drive much longer. A lot of our online friends, when they see this sister can do sit-ups and push-ups so easily, should we learn from her? Well, because she's doing that, I don't want to comment on that. But after 66 years old, you probably need to be careful about doing these. Because she practiced Energy Bagua really well. She didn't have any side effects. For sit-ups, if somebody is pressing your legs, it actually is possibly, you know, have you ever seen the spines, different vertebrae? It could, the risk is that some vertebrae can slip out. For seniors, you know, the marrows and the ligaments had some wear and tear, and maybe a little dry, and if you haven't been using the force correctly, it can slip out, and probably it can be can cause even disability. So for people who are at a certain age or seniors, maybe it's a little risky. So I don't recommend you to do that. I would recommend you to do the Energy Bagua Aerobics. You can do 3 times, 5 times. It's very safe. For sit-ups, after 66 years old, I won't recommend you to do sit-ups. Yeah. So safety is the most important. For push-ups, sometimes it can even hurt the shoulder joints and even the ribs. And people, when they have, if their bones are not very strong, you never know when the ribs can break. So it's very hard to tell. So we'd better not copy her and just do safer exercises, like we can practice Energy Bagua and Energy Bagua Aerobics. And the Energy Bagua Aerobics is what Grandmaster specifically designed for people who practice Energy Bagua. So this is very suitable for seniors, and it will definitely be very suitable for middle-aged and seniors, and so it won't be harmful. Sometimes, yeah, if you do those risky exercises, you would really regret. And what if your lumbar disc suddenly skip out? Then what if you get paralleled? So Sister Faber, from now on, maybe you don't have don't do this exercise too much. Try to practice Energy Bagua more, and maybe you can do a little bit prostration and with the carpet, but I've never teach anybody to do sit-ups and push-ups. Okay, but still I will give him a present because she recovered so well. Let's give her an Energy Bagua quick dry T-shirt because this is so good.
其实我穿了3天，每天穿2个小时，它就湿透了。我赶快进屋把它换下来，就晾在那儿。啊，第2天呢，我又穿，其实没洗。穿3天，一点臭味没有，知道吗？而且它是速干的，那个空调或者那个风扇一吹就干。哎，这个还真挺好。
And after the aircon blows on it, it will dry very quickly. And so I can do this for 3 days before washing it. I've also tried to splash some water on it too. And in a short while, it also dries.
好，祝法本师姐健康长寿。
I wish Faben good health and longevity.
对了，送给您。
Work Energy Bagua every day and live until 99 years old. Master, can you give Lin Rihong a gift? Right? And he is watching the video of the live streaming, and he wrote in comments that thank you, Master. It's my honor to be with Master. With Master's compassion, with Master's teachings, I use compassion as my compassion, and I'm thinking about everyone's good health every day, and it is the secret of my everyday cultivation. And this is the heart of a true Bodhisattva. I hope that everyone can become someone like this.
就算是没好好修，都会有大量的那个叫什么多巴胺会产生，就你的幸福指数瞬间就提升了。
secrete a lot of dopamine, and we will be very healthy, and your perceptions are very good, and it's less likely for you to have such illnesses. So the happiness,
其实这种幸福的这种欢乐、幸福感哈。 能让我们获得健康
can bring us a lot of health and also brings us wisdom. So I want to remind everyone, if we have a grateful heart if we see everything and everyone around us with compassion, then we will feel happiness. And this happiness will create this very healthy hormone. Dopamine, and it's very beneficial to our health. Any other good news? There are so many good news today, Master.
Today we talked about Parkinson's, right? There is something that's similar to Parkinson, and it's a very long illness. The name is very long, and there is someone from Taiwan who suffers from this illness. His name is Qiu Ruizhong. It's also a neurological illness, and Energy Bagua saved him. His illness was more acute and rapid. My name is Qiu Ruizhong, and I'm 52 years old. 2 years ago, for some unknown reason, my calves were painful. On the next day, I thought something must be wrong, so I went to a nearby clinic. And on my way home, I live on the 4th story. As I climb the stairs to the 2nd story, I can't move my legs anymore. My neighbor, a young man, carried me on his back to the 4th story, back home. On the 13th day of that month, I can't move my hands anymore, so I called an ambulance and went to the hospital. The doctor said that it's a rapid onset of a rare illness called demyelinating neuritis. My hands and legs were paralyzed. I can't turn on the bed. I stayed in the hospital for 6 months. The caregiver tied me up on a column so that I can stand on my own and not fall down. But it's very tiring. I worked very hard rehabilitating for 6 months. After that, I had to use a cane to slowly walk up 4 stories of stairs to get home. For the entire 6 months, my wife came to the hospital every day after work. A few months after I was discharged from the hospital, I went to a nearby park to rehabilitate. There were many people who were walking Energy Bagua. One person invited me to walk Energy Bagua with them. He said that after walking for 100 days, I'll surely benefit. So I walked Bagua with 2 canes. After walking for 20 days, I started walking Bagua with only 1 cane. After walking Bagua for less than 100 days, I can slowly walk by myself. Oh, so you don't need canes anymore? Because of Energy Bagua, I can walk on my own. I can do many things by myself. I can ride a bicycle, ride a motorcycle. I can even drive now. I'm very grateful for Master and Energy Bagua for allowing me to regain health. Now, every morning I walk Energy Bagua for 2 hours, another hour in the afternoon. Wow, so you walk 3 hours every day. With all the best wishes, thank you for sharing. Master, so Mr. Qiu, his illness is the rapid onset of demyelinating neuritis. It's a rare illness. And because it has a violent, aggressive progression, we actually look into the illness because we're not familiar with it. I'll read you what I've learned. So this illness can cause paralysis in a few days because as the illness becomes more severe, a person may lose involuntary nervous system function or respiratory failure and may even cause death. So this illness is caused by immune system damaging to the myelin sheath that protects the nerves. Common symptoms include loss of vision, muscle weakness, muscle stiffness, and cramps, loss of movement and coordination, loss of sensory perception, pain, bladder and bowel function problems. The acute phase of this illness typically varies in length from a few days to 2 weeks, with over 90% of patients moving to rehabilitative phase within 2 to 4 weeks. 60% of patients will show signs and symptoms of involuntary nervous system dysfunction, such as cardiac arrhythmia, high or low blood pressure, too fast or too slow heart rate, difficulty urinating, or less sweating. It's here to take your life. All the functions are gone rapidly. A lively, active person is suddenly paralyzed in 3 days. So Mr. Chu, he started with pain in his calves, and when he came back, trying to go back to his home, he couldn't move after climbing 2 stories of stairs. So it's a very severe and critical illness. And his wife is very kind too. When he was in the hospital, his wife visited him every day after work and spent time with him in the hospital. And after discharge and rehabilitation, he can walk with canes. And that's when he ran into people walking Energy Bagua in the park. And people were very warm and welcoming and encouraged him to walk Energy Bagua. And the person invited him said that he will have effect within 100 days. But after 20 days, he got rid of 1 cane. After some other time, he got rid of both canes. After 100 days, he don't need to use any cane at all. And he can ride bicycle, motorcycle, and he can drive. So his legs are very strong and can control it. I think that he's crazy. After he got well, they really want to ride motorcycle and very heavy motorcycles. And also the first person who shared, there's another sharing from Malaysian practitioner who rode motorcycle after getting well. I'm so happy for him. So other than congratulations, I really admire the person who invited him to work with them together. So her name is Huang Sudan. She said, come and learn, come and walk. Maybe after 100 days there will be some benefits. And he said himself that there's no cure for it. And so Huang Sudan has a bodhisattva heart and encouraged him to come and try. And really, after 100 days, he don't need canes anymore and can walk by himself. Other than congratulations to Mr. Qiu Ruizhong, I also admire Huang Sudan. She's great. We should learn from her. She leads 2 sessions of Energy Bagua, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And she leads a Bagua point in New Taipei City in the Huangcheng Park. And this picture was taken at her Energy Bagua point. So Huangcheng Park in the Taipei, in New Taipei City. And there's her phone number too. So I want to give Miss Huang a gift.
这是咱们过年写福字的时候
during Chinese New Year, I used this brushwash while I was writing the Chinese calligraphy of fortune, and I also used this brushwash when I was painting sunlit forest. And I want to give this to you because saving someone's life brings infinite merits and virtues, and I'm so happy. And for you and your Energy Bagua point, I want to give you 2 cakes of pure tea with all my blessings. I wish everyone who comes to your Energy Bagua point, I wish everyone will be able to walk Bagua every day and live to 99. And teacher Wu Zi from Taiwan said that Mr. Chu's doctor said that for 40 years of working, he has not seen anyone with Mr. Chu's illness who have recovered completely. Master said, I have run into someone with this illness about 30 years ago. When I heard of this person, he passed away before we had a chance to meet. It was within a month that his health deteriorated and just passed away. And so let's encourage Mr. Chu to continue walking Energy Bagua. Don't stop. So I want to give Mr. Chu a gift too. I'll give him an Energy Bagua belt and also an Energy Bagua T-shirt. All right. I wish you good health and longevity. May your whole family be happy. Thank you, Master. Master, there's another sharing. He is from Malaysia. His name is Cao Rong'an. He also had Parkinson's. Let's watch his story. He has been to places all over the world, loving photography and motorcycling. His photographs taken in China, Tibet were chosen by the Royal Photographic Society. This set of photographs are used as textbook and reference book. His name is Cao Rong'an, with a happy family and a wife who contributes quietly and accompanies him. He's a businessman with a digital printing company, where you can find his photographs everywhere. At 4 a.m., we had to go up here. That one was taken in Daocheng, Yading. I shot it in Lakawa a month ago. However, a sudden misfortune had broken up his happy life. In 2015, I had a slight stroke, a minor brain attack. I often stayed up for work, which stressed me out. He is so responsible. Sometimes he cared about his work too much, fearing his staff wouldn't do a perfect job. So he checked every piece of work for each client. Thus, he worked too hard. Every night, his phone was at his side. Whenever it rang, he'd help solve the issues. Having one's own business isn't easy, as one has to do all the work. As a family pillar, his falling ill was likely the sky fell down in his wife's eyes. He was hospitalized for 5 days, and I was with him all the time. When thinking of the whole family, the minor stroke on the right brain affected my left eye vision. I couldn't see with this eye. I could only see darkness. When this eye couldn't see, it affected the other eye too. My vision wasn't balanced. I felt dizzy. I couldn't walk in a straight line. The doctor told me that I might get better, or I might not. I wouldn't recover to 100%. I was feeling really down. I couldn't do anything. When I came back home, I felt blank. I didn't know what to do every day. I was unable to work on my computer. After watching for 10 minutes, it's very painful. I felt pain when covering them. I was very uncomfortable. What I did was just take medication and then sleep. I was miserable for 3 months. Physical illness plunged him into a life crisis. At a time of despair, Bodhi meditation entered his life. Luckily, a Dharma brother and my wife's friend sent me a copy of Meditation and Health magazine and 2 tickets to Medicine Buddha's birthday blessing ceremony. Just before November 8th, I again had the dizzy feeling. The neuro doctor taking the MRI said that there is a root issue existing, so he became more worried. That happened 2 days before the blessing event. After Master's blessing, my whole body felt unblocked. I didn't feel dizzy anymore. When Master was teaching and blessing, and he was meditating, his hands shook, and he was in tears. I knew he had received Master's blessings. At the blessing ceremony, he was fortunate to receive the blessing from Bodhi Meditation founder Master JinBodhi, but he also witnessed the benefits many practitioners received. This made him see the light of hope. I became faithful in Bodhi meditation. Since so many people benefited from Bodhi meditation, I believe I would benefit too. On the next day, he had a checkup at the hospital. The doctor said the root issue was gone. The blood clot was much smaller. He was so happy hearing this. Like a huge burden has been unloaded from him. It was the same day after seeing the doctor. We went to Bowling Center and signed up the 8.5 Health and Happiness Retreat. After finishing the retreat, I started practicing Energy Bagua every morning. In the evening, I practiced the meditation of greater illumination and sitting meditation. In such a short time of 3 to 4 months, my eyes improved greatly. Now my vision is even better than before. I have no problem using a computer or photographing outside. Also, through Energy Bagua practice, his physical strength improved greatly. 5 years ago, when I went to shoot the Scoundrel, I took a carriage. But it could only reach a certain place. Since it couldn't go any further, I hired porters to carry me up. After practicing for a year, I went to Yangting Temple, which was 3,000 meters high. And I went up to the mountain from the bottom. I was so happy I could get to the top, and I went up and down. We climbed Bagua Hill. We went to Saba in Vietnam, also running up and coming down the slopes. Energy Bagua has helped me a lot. I've practiced for almost a year. My physical strength is much better than before. I can continue traveling and photography. We truly fell in love with Energy Bagua. We have to practice Energy Bagua every morning. We try to practice in our room when it's raining. In the past, working in front of the computer, our shoulders were stiff from typing every day. Then we had to have massage every week. The masseuse said our neck and shoulders were very stiff. After half a year of working Energy Bagua, the same masseuse all said that our bodies are soft, not as stiff as before. Before, when being massaged, I could hear the sound, ka ka ka. Now there's no sound. Now the body is very soft. The entire body seems to loose, and I also lost 5 kilograms. After meditation practice, he has another happy result. He can now resume motorcycling he loves the most. This is in Sabah, and this is in Sri Lanka. In September 2015, I fell ill. They went there in November. I had already paid the fees, but I couldn't go. With poor vision, you can't motorcycle. I'd be dizzy, which is very dangerous. I really like motorcycling.
Last November, we went to New Zealand. Since I meditated for over a year, my vision and health are almost recovered. So I dared to take the challenge. In 18 days, I had no trouble finishing the cycling. The feeling was wonderful. In Bodhi meditation, he regained happiness and embarked on a new life journey. So first, I made a mistake. I have to say sorry to Minzhen. He actually had a minor stroke, and this sharing is about his recovering after that minor stroke. Sorry, Mr. Minzhen. Stroke is even more severe, right? Isn't it scary? There's something in his brain, and there's a blood clot, and it has affected his vision, and he couldn't see. It's not. It's comparable to Parkinson, but what's miraculous is that when he went to the blessing event with Master's energy blessing, he received that energy. And as his wife described it, his hand was shaking and he was crying. It's just like when Master was saying that when we are filled with dopamine, when we're filled with Dharma bliss, he has completely received Master's energy blessing. And on the second day, when he go back to the hospital for a checkup, everything was fine. And so after Master's blessing, that thing in his brain disappeared, and he was okay. Thank you, Master, for your blessing. He's very lucky. He had very good results. And after you gain some age, try not to take on risky activities such as motorcycling. If you really like to motorcycle, do it in a safe environment and wear Bodhi's blessed gifts, like these jade ones or bracelets or vajas. Wear these. Otherwise, your energy. And also, in this world, there are many things that we cannot see. Are you able to withstand those things? Bodhi said you have to cherish this health that you have regained. If he can let go of motorcycling, he can still climb mountains, right? He climbed 2 times up and down the mountain, and he was climbing that mountain in Tibet. Many people, when they go to Tibet, they have difficulty breathing, and he climbed the mountain there twice. Remember, he had to take a carriage and have a porter carry him, but now he can climb up and down 2 times by himself. Master says climbing in Tibet is actually very tiring because of the lack of oxygen. And he's not young anymore, so he has very good physical strength. From a minor stroke patient and to recovery to climbing such a mountain. Jejun recommends him to climb more mountains and don't ride motorcycles anymore. Master said, I remember last year in Vancouver, there was someone who visited. She had an illness. I forgot what her illness was. She was afraid of cold. And when she told her story to Master, she said that she can climb Whistler's Mountain. When people were tired of walking, she has nothing. She had no problem. She could climb the mountain very, very easily.
队人马之中，
And
她年龄
in
最
that
大又是女
in
士，
that
她
group,
跑得最快。
she was the oldest, and she is a
对
woman,
但
but
是
she
她
was
她的原则是
climbing
天
the
天走八卦。
fastest.
没错
But
对
that's all
是
possible
真是
because
这
she
个八卦
was walking Energy
真是
Bagua every day.
所以这就是内功，真
And
实
so
讲是
that's
内
why
功
we
那
call
个师
this
姐
is
看着也不是说
internal
虎背熊腰
energy
的，不是像
because
运动员
that
的那种
person
身材的。
she
哎
didn't
我
have
们
a
还得
very
给这个
large
曹
body,
荣
very
安
strong
哈
muscles,
给礼
not
物
like
哈
an athlete.
这个效果多好
So that's gives Cao
恭喜
Rong'an
恭
a
喜哈
gift, such a good effect.
对，刚才说她又骑大
Congratulations.
摩托车啥的，
Remember we
我送
said
一个
she
黄色
rode
的，哎
motorcycles,
看
right?
她太太哈，
Let me give
哎
you
太太也很
this
特别好
哎，
uh,
黄色琉璃
this
的，还有这
glass
个
bracelet
日光
and
菩
also
日光菩
sunlight
萨手串
bodhisattva
哈，
bracelet
所
for
以你们俩一
your
人带一串儿哈，
wife, for
说
you
哪
and
个
your
护着
wife.
你们，
No
菩
matter
萨
where
护
you
佑
go, you will
如
be
意有吉祥，
blessed by
健
the
康又长
bodhisattva.
寿
You
哈，
will be
到
fortunate
感恩师
and
傅
you will be healthy
师
and
傅还继续跟您
live
分
a
享
long
几位
life.
现场的网友给我们的
Master, I
留
want
言
to
啊，
share a
一
few
定会
more
很开心的。
comments from
这位
our
维安娜
online
网友
friends.
说：“师傅
Vienna
好，
said,
我爸爸今
Dear
年
Master,
83
my
岁，小
my
脑
father
萎
is
缩有
80
很
years
多年
old
了，同样的
and
事
he
情他总
has
是来回的问，
issues
记不
in
住。”
the
2017
brain
年
and
有
he
幸接
couldn't
触到
remember
八卦内
anything.
功，
He has to
爸爸
ask
和妈妈就
questions
开始走八
repeatedly.
卦，
In
到现在已有5年多的时
2017,
间了。
they
他的
started
记
to
忆力
work
比之
Energy
前要好，
Bagua for
大脑也越来
5
越
years
好
now,
用，
and
跟
he
别
has
人
better
下象棋
memory
谁
and
都下
his
不过
brain
他，
works
而
better
且
and
气色
he
红润，
wins
看
Chinese
上去比
chess.
5年前还要年轻。身边的人
And
看见他们的
he's
变化，
glowing
都
and
跟着来
radiant,
学
and
走
he
八卦，
looks
大
younger
家都
than
很
5
受
years
益。
ago.
跟着走八卦的
People
人
who
也
see
越来
his
越多。
change
八
follow
卦
them
内
to
功
work
是神
Energy
奇之
Bagua.
法，谁
Energy
走
Bagua
谁
is a
受
miracle.
益。
Anyone
感
who
恩师
work
傅
will benefit.
嗯，
Thank you,
真好
Master.
哈，
真是
真好，
讲的
真好。
真是斩钉截铁，就是这样的。
And she
太
is
棒了。
so definitive.
好，有礼
This
物吧
is，what it
有
is.
师傅
该给哈。
给维安娜，
Let's
维
give
安
a
娜，
gift
听着
to
名字是女
Vienna.
生哈。
Sounds like a
好
lady,
还有
right?
给他的老父亲。
And also
Oh,
give a gift
好。
to her
维
father.
安娜，老父亲，一串木质的
How
念
about
珠，
a wood
看来岁数
a
带木
wood
头的
mala?
就比较温和
When
一些
you're a
哈。
little bit older, wearing wood
真好。
is better
这个
because
给
it's
维安
more
娜，
gentle.
这个是给你老
This
父
one
亲
is for
哈。
Vienna,
啊，
and
祝你们
this
全
wood
家
mala
人
is for your
幸福吉
father.
祥，
May your
健康
family
长
be
寿。八
auspicious,
卦天天
healthy,
走。
活到
and wish
99
fulfillment.
对了，
Work
哎呀，我
Energy
想
Bagua
象现在
every
如果
day
网友
and
们一
live
起
to
都在网络
99 years
上活
old.
到99。
I hope everyone
多么的
lives to
震撼。
99
对，这
years
就走了
old.
吧。
Isn't that great?
是，就像刚才维
That's
安娜说的，谁
astonishing.
走谁受益
You
啊。
just have to
对，
work
真
Energy
是。
Bagua. Anyone
还
who
有一位
works
这个
will
金祥
benefit.
云网友他说：“
金
师傅好
祥云 says,
2021
Dear
年8
Master,
月
in
开始和我一
August
起学走八卦的
2011,
71岁的老姐姐，患脑血栓1
there
年，
was a
靠
70-year-old
推助行
person
器走路都
who
很艰难。走八卦1个
in
月以后，
in
就不用
August
助行器，
2021,
能
there
自己
was
走
a
1个小时了。
71-year-old
他这个就是
lady
中风
who
嘛，脑
had
血栓嘛
stroke for a
哦
year,
这个病
and
症
she had to walk
你
with
看
a
多好。
太
with
棒了，
a
走1个
cane sort
月
of thing.
就
恭喜
And
恭喜
after
哈！
working Energy
哎，
Bagua
有礼物
for
哈！
a
哎
month,
这个师姐叫啥？
she can
金祥
walk
云
by
金祥
herself
云
for
哈
an
金
hour.
祥云，金祥云
So a gift for 金祥云。
2条丝带，
How about 2 silk scarves?
一串这个
And also
金色的
this
水晶
very
念珠
beautiful crystal.
好，祝你健康长寿
bracelet，
如意吉祥。
I wish you good health and longevity
说
and
我们还有很多
auspiciousness.
新网友哈。
And also there are
看着
many
这个
new
直播的
friends
时候
who,
哎
when they are
羡
watching
慕
this
嫉妒
live
恨呐
stream,
是
they are
着
very
急
jealous.
呀很着
They're
急羡慕羡慕
they really
对
want
他
to
就很想
know
来学
how
对
to
然后也有
how
问
to
说
work
就是
Energy
怎么
Bagua.
去
They
查
really
找
want
这一些
to
八卦点
learn
的
it,
信息
how
哈
to find
那我们跟大家
information
讲这个八卦
about
内功
Energy
网站
Bagua
上
points.
是可以查询
You
得到
can
的
go to
先看看你的这个
energybagua.com
所在的国家地区
and
如果有皮禅
pick
堂
your
八卦中心
country,
你打个电话问一
and
问
if
啊
there
就可以查
is
到你的这个
a Bodhi
如果没有
meditation Center or Energy Bagua Wellness Center or teaching sites. If there's no center at your country, then you can learn it online. You can get to know more about it online, and maybe we will have a chance to learn it. Actually, since yesterday, there are people who are leaving messages on our live stream from yesterday. They're asking Master how to work Energy Bagua. They really want to learn. And today, there are more people who are asking where can they learn Energy Bagua. And during the Master says it's during the pandemic. Previously, when we teach Energy Bagua, we do it in an in-person class because we need to correct your posture, and you have to come and learn every day. Actually, it's easy. The movement is easy. It's just that you have to memorize some tips and tricks. And the difficulty level, the level of difficulty on a scale from 1 to 10. Oh, so it's the level of difficulty is us learning to add from 1 to 10. It's not one posture. There's about 3 to 4 postures. But there's 2 main movements, and it's very easy. What's difficult is that you have to persist in practicing 1 hour every day and practice for 100 days continuously so that you can see some benefits. You know that when you take medicine to treat as treatment, there is a period, right? And this is also a treatment, although you are not taking medicine or taking injections. And it's helpful for some very severe illnesses. And some of the illnesses that was shared during this session are very severe and difficult to treat illnesses. It doesn't, when you get healthier, it's not just this one illness, but it's your entire health that's getting better. The centers are not really open during the pandemic, so it's not very easy. So if there is a center in your country, contact them. And like when we shared about Li Xiangdan, the center actually sent a teacher to teach that person one-to-one at home. But some people, maybe there are some of these online friends, there might not be teachers or online centers or centers in their country. There is also a person who said, where can we learn the most authentic Energy Bagua in Singapore? So, Master, during this unique time of the pandemic, Master, can you teach Energy Bagua online through the internet? Master, do you think can you teach everyone to work Energy Bagua online? Then that will be the most authentic. Master says, my God, I've never taught Energy Bagua online before. There are some movements, right? Do you think with using live stream, can we teach it? Will they be able to learn it? Zhuezhen says, if Master teaches, I think they will be able to learn it. It's the first time because previously we always taught in-person lessons. Master, can we give it a try? Okay, then let's give it a try. So many people really want to learn and really need to learn this method. If you don't need it, then don't come and learn. Master, it's great. We have a chance to learn it from you. Zhuezhen says, whether people want to learn it. There are so new friends who haven't learned, they can benefit from it. And there are many people who's working Energy Bagua, but they never had a chance to learn directly from Master. So they can benefit too. Also, Master has certified teachers to teach Energy Bagua, but Master is a founder of Energy Bagua. With Master's guidance, it would be different. So this is a chance for us to learn the most authentic Energy Bagua.
要不就试试。
Maybe we'll give it a try.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Master. Thank you. I'm so happy for all the online
关键是
friends.
这个，我真没在网上这么教过。
I've never taught
就是
Energy Bagua like this
试试看吧，
online
能不
before.
能
We
做得到？
can give it a try and see if we can do it.
那行，那得给我一个礼拜的
Okay,
准备，
maybe
好吧？
give me a week to prepare.
很快了已经。
Just 1 week?
我
That's
有点
very
犯
fast.
怵啊，我心虚啊。
Master
在
says,
网上教过这个
I've
东西。
never taught this online before. I don't
就是网友
know.
们太受益了。
开心了。
Zhejian says, Master, we can do it. And the online friends will benefit a lot too. And these online friends will have a week to tell it to everyone, to their families, friends, to the fellow practitioners at their practice site. So next week, this time, if you have time, watch Grandmaster's live stream. This is the first time Grandmaster teaching Energy Bagua online. There's an online friend who left a message said that I want to learn too, but is Energy Bagua a special practice method for people who have stroke or Parkinson's? I don't have this illness. I only have stomach aches. Can I learn this? Master says, Uli said, yes, of course. Anyone who work will benefit. Even young ones, young healthy people will benefit too. Your wisdom will be developed. Many people are saying, thank you, Master. It's great to learn from Master directly. There are so many messages. Let me tell you about my youth. When I was young, many people, new friends probably don't know about my experience. What kind of person is me? When I was born with a lot of illness. I had illness because my health, I was weak. It was when I was born, it was the poorest time, and even during my mom's pregnancy, she didn't have a lot of food to eat, and so I was starving in the womb too. And when I was born, I continued to suffer from not enough food, so I had asthma, diarrhea, and I had many issues. There's very few chance where I can be healthy for a week. And so later on, my mom told me that the truth, that I was prepared that you might not be able to grow up. When I was young, my younger brother and older brother died beside me. And that's how I was when I was young. And later on, my entire family moved. My father worked in Tibet, and we traveled to Xining City in Tibet. And when we moved there, we saw that it was heaven because we have food on the table. My father was working, and there's money and food, but I was ill. And because of the high elevation, I had nausea, I was dizzy, and I took so many traditional Chinese medicine. I don't even know what bitter means. I can just drink one bowl very fast. I saw other young people who were drinking traditional Chinese medicine because the medicine was very bitter. They had to hold their nose and eat candies afterward. But I was so used to drinking it, I don't feel the bitterness in the medicine anymore. And you asked me what illness I had. I don't know. It's not any illness. I was only a few years old. It was not a stroke. It was not Parkinson. I just had a general, I was just generally weak. And so later on, I met my Grandmaster Ren, and he taught me Energy Bagua. I won't tell you the whole entire story in detail now. After learning from him, after about a year, my body, my physical strength was as normal as a regular child. And afterward, my physical strength was better than other child my age. After 2 years, my reaction was faster. Before, I was very dumb and dull. If you ask me a question, I would feel dizzy. I couldn't react to your question, and I reacted very slowly. When my mother talked to me, she would repeat what she says several times before I realized what was being said. And that was my intelligence at the time. And after practicing Energy Bagua for 2 years, what happened? There were several children who practiced Shaolin martial arts, and they were 2 years older than me, and they wanted to challenge me. Because we know each other, and their master knows my master, so we competed. And when I was young, I was scared, because what if you kill me during this challenge? And in the end, so it was 3 children who was challenging me. I saw that one person is too easy. All 3 of you can fight me at the same time. And so there was one person in front of me and 2 people behind me. It's as if I have eyes behind my back, and I can see all their movement. And I was winning the fight. And later on, there was other people who came to me and wanted to challenge me, and I did. And when I was 18 years old, there were soldiers, like special force soldiers, who came to challenge me, and I was still winning. If you throw a fist first, I let you throw a fist first, and you wouldn't be able to hit me. I practiced so well that my reaction, I had intuition. After practicing, I know that if I see you, I know what you ate for breakfast. I know you had a fight with your husband. I know you're unhappy with your child. And that's intuition. I know it. It came from practicing Energy Bagua. I just had that feeling. At that time, I saw that I'm not the same as a human being, because I can sense things that other people couldn't. But my body, my health was getting much better. And later on, I learned Buddha Dharma, because more profound states of consciousness cannot be reached by Energy Bagua. And so that's why I started self-cultivation in Buddha Dharma and meditation. And that's how I become what I am today. And I have put all these methods together. So what is Energy Bagua beneficial for? If I sense it, it's beneficial to internal organs, to tumors, to bones, to broken hips, to 2 legs of different lengths, to curved skeletal, to strokes, to cancer, to women's health, to lymph node illnesses. It's beneficial for all these, and many people have healed. It's not beneficial to just one illness. It's a method that you can cultivate and become a deity. But it's very difficult to learn the authentic method. And at first, I taught this method to a small group of people, because there's no side effect. So I taught this method to them and watched and observed their results. And later on, I started to teach this message to more and more people. And people who don't have religious beliefs or have other religious beliefs, as long as you start to practice, it is effective. We have practically taught people of different religious backgrounds all over the world, and it's very beneficial to them too. So if you're interested, you can come online and watch it. Zhejian says everyone is leaving comments saying that, oh, it's such good news that Master is teaching Energy Bagua online. They're all very excited. We'll cherish the chance. We're very grateful to be able to learn Energy Bagua directly from Master and benefit more. Grandmaster Ren has self-cultivated all his life, and I am his only disciple. I have asked my grandmaster before, do you have other disciples? He said no, because this is not his career, and he didn't want to find a disciple to pass down all his learning. And it's a karmic bond. He didn't meet anyone who could be able to get all his method and essence of practice. But he didn't say that I am the one too, but he taught this message to me. And so I learned it and started to teach it to other people and to more and more people in the recent years. Zhejian says many people are looking forward to learning from Grandmaster. Master says today is Saturday in Canada, and our next, how about next Friday or Saturday? But if we only teach once, they wouldn't be able to learn it. Zhejian says, but they can watch it repeatedly. Master says, in 2 hours, you can only learn a little bit. We probably need 6 to 7 classes so that you can learn it and practice it yourself. Master, Uli says, Master, can we have more continuous classes online to learn Energy Bagua completely? Master, Zhejian says, how about Friday in Canada? Because that is Saturday in Asia. So if we have live stream in Canada on Fridays and Saturdays, it is Saturday and Sunday in Asia. It's probably convenient for people. Uli says, Master, can we have... Master says we can take up maybe several weekends. If the time is too short, then it's not enough. Master says I'm happy to teach, but it takes your time to learn it. Zhejian says it's not bothersome because we're learning the authentic methods from Master. We're not silly. Master says, don't worry about the timing. After the live stream, it will still be available online, then you can watch it repeatedly. Zhejian says, this is a benefit of the internet. Thank you, Master. Grandmaster said, while I was learning from Grandmaster, we didn't record anything, we didn't film anything, we didn't even have a camera. Nowadays, it's very convenient. Uli says, thank you, Master, for teaching Grandmaster Ren's precious message to us. We're very grateful. It's our honor. Master says, after hearing people's benefits and how effective Energy Bagua it is for people, I'm very happy to hear these good news, and more people can benefit. Uli says, I think when we are teaching Energy Bagua online, we will hear more benefits, more sharings from our Energy online friends, how Energy Bagua has helped them to heal. Some people are leaving messages and saying I know how to practice martial arts. Master said humbly that, no, I don't know how to do martial arts. I just know how to practice Energy Bagua. Jujin says, we're very grateful to Master from 2020. We learned so many principles from Master. We learned chanting and meditation. And now we can learn Energy Bagua, work Energy Bagua every day and live to 99. All right, Master says, no more for tonight. I'll need to start preparing. Okay, next Friday, what day it is? So, in North America, Vancouver, it is Friday and Saturday. So, February the 18th to 19th at 6 p.m. And in Asia, Taipei time, it is Saturday and Sunday. It is from February 19th to 20th at 10 a.m. So it's 2 sessions on the weekend. In Vancouver, it's Friday and Saturday. In Taipei, in Asia, it is Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so we will learn from Grandmaster JinBodhi and also share it with your friends, families, and people who want a better quality of life. All right, Master said. We're so happy today. In the new year, Master is giving us a great gift. As long as you receive good health, I'm happy. All right, I wish everyone good health and longevity. May you be healthy and happy, auspicious and wish fulfillment. See you next weekend. All right, goodbye. See you next time.
小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有恐惧。我快乐了，我快乐了，我健康了，我健康了，我幸福了，我幸福了，我美丽了，我美丽了。我智慧了。